Ladies and gents, I am the one and only DJ Storms, and I would like to welcome each and every single one of you back here to the channel on YouTube.com. It is, of course, Friday, September 3rd, 2021, and this is the official Lightning Flash update, of course, for Friday, September 3rd, 2021, the final Friday that the LFU has taken a detour for the week. Next week, my family obligations on Saturdays will be complete, and next week, I will be back with the Lightning Flash update on Saturdays from here on out. I would like to thank each and every single one of you for stopping by the channel each and every single Friday for the past number of weeks. I greatly appreciate it. It's not my usual time slot during the week, but it was a detour, and you guys were here with me for the detour, so I greatly appreciate each and every single one of you. Let us check the chat. Let us check the chat and see what's going on. We got Hooligrim. We got Dee, we got Adam, Carl. Who else we got? Is Peanuts here? I do believe Peanuts is here. Ruben stopped by earlier, I saw. Thank you very much, everyone, for stopping by. We got a loaded show, and we got a lot of shit to talk about going into All Out tomorrow. We got a loaded show tomorrow. We got Gamers Goon, a.k.a. Mr. Austin Ford. Thank you very much for stopping by. I greatly appreciate you stopping by. You are fantastic in your own right. Austin Ford, thank you very much. Dee, thank you very much for being the #1 mod. As per usual, Peanuts, as usual, is here. And, of course, we got a lot of news and rumors to dissect. There's a lot of material to go into the Lightning Flash update today. And everyone, I greatly appreciate everyone for stopping by the channel. Before we get into the nitty-gritty, before we get into the LFU and all the festivities, this week was a pretty topsy-turvy week, as many of you already know. Hurricane Ida absolutely destroyed the East Coast. 15 feet of rain down in Louisiana. I do hope that everyone up and down the East Coast and the east side of the country is okay. A lot of power was lost. A lot of houses were destroyed. A lot of basements were flooded. Hopefully everyone gets back into the swing of things, and hopefully everyone recovers just quite nicely. I hope that everyone that was affected by it is doing okay. Another thing that really turned everyone's week upside down was the passing of a figure in the wrestling industry, in the wrestling community. A lot of people knew personally. A lot of professional wrestlers knew personally. Shannon Spurl, a.k.a. Daphne Unger. Shannon Spurl, a.k.a. Daphne Unger. She recently just passed away earlier this week. I did not grow up with Daphne Unger, Shannon Spurl. I did not. I was not too familiar with her work. I know that she was a pretty prominent figure in WCW. She was a pretty prominent figure in the early days of TNA as well. I did not grow up with Daphne Unger. Unfortunately, I did not start watching wrestling until after Daphne Unger's days within the professional wrestling industry had passed. She posted a very scary Instagram live stream video in which she looked very suicidal. A lot of people said that she may have had a pistol underneath the blanket that she had in that Instagram live stream. It was very, very gut-wrenching. It was very, very heartbreaking to see. My heart dropped into my stomach. And unfortunately, she did take her own life on Wednesday evening, and it was pronounced that she had passed away on Thursday afternoon. I want everyone to know something. I want everyone to understand that I understand that it may be hard for those of you who are dealing with a mental condition, even if it's just slight, whatever it may be, whether it be depression, anxiety, whatever type of mental condition, even if it's just slight, please, I know it may be hard, but don't ever feel like you can't talk to anyone. Don't feel as if you're alone. if you're struggling with any sort of mental condition, please go out of your way to talk to someone, whether it be a friend, a family member, a therapist, someone that you trust. Go out of your way to talk to someone that you trust, because there's a lot of people in your life that you've come in contact with that need you. There's a lot of people that you have come in contact with within your life that would be absolutely heartbroken without you, that would be absolutely distraught without you. There's a lot of people that care for you, and there's a lot of people that love you, even though you may not feel it. People do love you, people do care for you, and you absolutely matter. You can contribute a lot to this world. You can contribute a lot to this society. Please, please, if you're struggling with any sort of mental condition, talk to someone that you trust and get the help that you need, because people care about you and people will be lost without you. My thoughts, my prayers, my condolences, and my heart goes out to the family, the friends, and anyone that was personally associated with Daphne Unger and anyone that was affected by the loss of Daphne Unger. May she rest peacefully. Before we get into the news, rumors, and reports here on the LFU, if everyone could just do me a favor and follow me on social media at @the_DJ Storms. That is both on Twitter and Instagram. Add me on Facebook as well for collaborations and business inquiries. Please send me an email. My email is, of course, StormsTakeOver@gmail.com. Please make sure you like the official DJ Storms business page, and I may just send you an invite to join the official DJ Storms Posse group on Facebook. That is, all of those links are in the description. I would like to send out my apologies for last week's LFU. I had to delete it because there were some issues with my OBS. Hopefully that does not happen right now. Hopefully that does not happen again. It was a pain in the ass, and I was not happy with the final product that turned out. We lost about half the stream last week, and unfortunately I had to delete it. So now, hopefully everything is smoothed over, everything is back under control, and hopefully we can go through the rest of the stream very, very smoothly. Hopefully we can go through the rest of the stream very, very swiftly. Hopefully no technical issues happen. Unfortunately, I had some more technical issues, actually. I had some technical issues during the recording of the rundown for All Out 2021. My original guest was supposed to be Top Rope Squishy, and unfortunately she could not make it because she had foundation issues with her house, and her house got flooded. She was actually out late Wednesday night at Home Depot trying to get material to clear out the water in her house. Unfortunately, she actually had to cancel her appearance with me. I recorded the rundown yesterday. She had to move her live stream show to today, actually. And Habiki TMD, I greatly appreciate him for answering the call. I greatly appreciate him for taking the time out of his day to go and star on the rundown for All Out. Unfortunately, there were some technical issues with Habiki's connection. I believe the Wi-Fi on Habiki's side did not turn out too well. I believe he was also affected by Hurricane Ida. But hopefully that won't happen again, and hopefully his Wi-Fi gets sorted out. Hopefully we don't have a technical issue like that again. It's like every time I turn around, there's another technical issue going around. Hopefully my mic's coming in good. I see Dee saying that I'm still a little quiet. I know I may still be a little quiet, but I do believe that I am okay. So far everything's going okay. If my mic is not coming in clear enough, please let me know. But the rundown for AEW All Out, technical issues and all, it will be up tomorrow with Habiki TMD. He answered the call. He created a fantastic thumbnail for me. That is going to premiere tomorrow, Saturday, September 4th at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Please go check that out. If you have not already done so, hit the like button, set a reminder, 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time tomorrow. The rundown for All Out 2021 will premiere with Mr. Habiki TMD. Of course, if you guys missed the video I uploaded earlier this week, the Eye of the Storm with Miss Sea Bunny, a.k.a. Christina Sarney. She's a hearing impaired individual that became a dancer, a pro wrestler, and a DJ. She has such a busy schedule, and I greatly appreciate that she took the time out of her day to come and sit down with me to talk about her journey, her life goals, and everything in between. Please make sure you go and check that out. The link is in the description. She is an absolutely wonderful human being, and she was actually talking to me last night, and she loved the outpouring of support that everyone here gave her and everyone gave that video. So I greatly appreciate each and every single one of you who went out of your way to watch the Eye of the Storm with Christina Sarney. I'm hoping to get her back on the channel soon. I actually want to get her back on the channel for a pay-per-view review. So hopefully I can get her back on the channel for a pay-per-view review sooner rather than later. But go check that out if you missed it. The link is in the description. Please make sure, if you have not already done so, hit that like button. Hit that like button. Smash that like button if you haven't already done so. We got 9 people in here. 10 likes so far. You guys are on fire so far here on this fine Friday. It's nice and sunny out. It's nice and cool out. It's 75 with a breeze. So hopefully we get a lot of those days here in September. There's a lot of good things going on in September for me as well. Hit the like button if you have not already done so. Share out the stream on all platforms of social media, whether it be Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, Tumblr, Snapchat, TikTok, Facebook, whatever social media platforms that you use. Share out the stream. It is absolutely vital that you do so. Share out the stream. It's vital that you do so. Get as many people in here as possible. Be sure to keep the chat alive. We have goals we want to reach. I want to see if we can get to at least 30 likes. So please make sure you share out the stream. Notify everyone that DJ Storms is live here on YouTube. Thank you very much to the people who have already liked. If you have not already liked, please make sure you hit that like. And of course, hit the subscribe button. Hit the notifications bell with a huge coup de grace. That way you will know whenever I pop up on YouTube. Because whenever I pop up on YouTube, it is the best time to be on YouTube. Everybody knows what I'm going to say. Obviously, we're going to see this glorious sideburn chin strap combination. I actually just shaved. I need to get a haircut, but hopefully I can get that by at least Monday, I would say. I think I'm going to call my barber. I'm going to call my barber, see if I can organize a haircut for Monday. But anyway, please make sure, if you haven't already done so, again, please make sure, hit the like button, subscribe, turn on the bell for all notifications. And of course, if you have not already done so, if you're on the East Coast and you are looking for some good independent wrestling, if you're on the East Coast, you're looking for some good independent wrestling, we got an Independent Superstars of Pro Wrestling event going down this Sunday in Butler, New Jersey, on I believe in the high school. Yes, I believe if I'm not mistaken. I have the I think I have the information right here. Give me a minute. Yeah. It's Independent Superstars of Pro Wrestling in Memorial Field in Butler, New Jersey, Sunday, September 5th. The pre-show with the interviews and the signings with guys like Sergeant Slaughter, guys like Rikishi, guys like Crowbar, that is going to take place at 2 p.m. That's going to take place at 2 p.m. And of course, at 4 p.m. is when bell time starts. I'm going to be there. I'm going to be handing out some free wristbands. I know a lot of people have a lot of free wristbands right now. But people, if you're on the East Coast, please go and check it out. I will post a link to where you can get tickets tomorrow. Please make sure you go and get your tickets. If you have not already done so, tickets are starting at $20. Bell time starts at 4 p.m. I will be there live in attendance to watch some good independent wrestling before All Out. All Out is, of course, on Sunday. I got the Rewind for All Out premiering on Monday. And then, of course, on September 15th. On September 15th, people, September 15th, AEW Dynamite's coming to New Jersey in the Prudential Center in Newark, and I will be there live in attendance. I'm going to be there handing out free wristbands. I'm going to be doing a vlog. If you want to go there, or if you are going there, please make sure you hit me up, so that way I can give you a free wristband. You can be on my vlog. I can call you a fucking retard like I usually do everybody else in the community, because everyone's a fucking retard, except for the people that are watching me, because people that watch DJ Storms are the most intelligent people on the planet, alright? You already know the drill. Who do we got in the chat? We got Pro Momic 108. How you doing, brother? We got Cameron Johnson. He's in class. I mean, I graduated college, so I don't need to worry about class anymore. We got, Vasilios Pope. How you doing, brother? I greatly appreciate you stopping by. We got 12 likes so far. You guys are fucking fantastic, and business is booming. The brand is booming, baby. The brand is booming. And yes, I am going to be live on your birthday, because on September 11th, 2021, DD, she is turning 40, the big 40. So please make sure you wish DD a happy birthday on September 11th. She is fantastic. She has been my #1 mod for a long, long time, and she's one of the most loyal supporters of the DJ Storms brand. Please make sure you wish her a happy birthday. She is fantastic, and I wish her nothing but the best. Anyway, enough of the self-brand promotion and the advertisements. We got to get straight into the news, rumors, and reports, because we got a lot of shit to talk about here. My first report, and judging by the title, you will pretty much know what I'm going to be talking about. Cassidy Haynes of Bodyslam.net reported that Daniel Bryan, aka Bryan Danielson, is slated to make his AEW debut at All Out in Chicago. The report stated, and I quote, "After speaking with multiple sources within AEW, I can now confirm that the company has upped plans for Bryan Danielson's debut. The new plan, I was told, is for Danielson to debut at AEW's All Out pay-per-view on September 5th, 2021. I had initially heard this rumor a couple weeks back, but was unable to confirm the plan with multiple sources." End quote. It was noted that plans changed due to COVID-19 concerns, as Bryan was initially slated to debut at AEW Grand Slam in Arthur Ashe Stadium. Now, I absolutely have no problem with this. I don't think anyone should have a problem with Daniel Bryan debuting at All Out, and they did it for growing COVID concerns. Of course, Tony Khan has been very cautious. He's been very careful with COVID-19, considering that AEW just went back on tour about 2 months back. Obviously, Tony Khan needs to make sure that everything flows nicely. He needs to make sure that everything is in place and nothing gets shut down. I don't know why. I just have a feeling that with the shithead in office right now, with fucking Joe Biden in office, that I have a feeling that he's going to shut down the country like the fucking retard that he is, and we're going to go into lockdown again. I don't know. I just don't know. But for some reason, my gut tells me that the shithead's going to put the country on lockdown, and we're going to be just as bad as the UK. I don't know. But Tony Khan, he's been very cautious, he's been very careful, and I like the fact that he has been very careful and he's been doing the right thing in taking precautions before every single event with COVID-19 and the growing concerns with COVID-19. I don't know how they debut Bryan Danielson. I don't know if he just shows up. I'm not sure if he comes out and confronts Kenny Omega. I'm not sure if he comes out and confronts CM Punk. I talk about this tomorrow on the rundown for AEW All Out with Hibiki. I talked about this tomorrow, but I'm going to talk about it right now. I suggested that if you want to, considering that Pac and Andrade got canceled because of travel restrictions for Pac, you can have Andrade show up. At All Out and just kind of be a dick and run down Pac for just not showing up, even though it's for COVID concerns. You could just run down Pac, saying Pac didn't show up, the biggest match of his career, blah, 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 blah. And what he can do is he can issue an open challenge, and then you hear the final countdown go off. Bryan Danielson comes out, but Andrade, he walks away. Because he's like, no, I'm not fighting on your time. I'm going to fight on my time, not on your time. And that could be a nice way to introduce Bryan Danielson to AEW and potentially tease a future match with Andrade, because you know that Andrade, he has to be on Bryan's list of people to face, especially with AEW and the creative freedom that you got in AEW. You know for a fact. But the match doesn't need to happen. The match is not going to happen. It's just going to be a standoff. It'll just be a nice way to introduce Bryan into AEW, and we don't have to have either man taking a loss. I don't know what Bryan's first program is, but considering that Bryan, he's pretty much done everything there is to do, and considering he wants to work dates in Japan, I don't expect Bryan to be full-time, and I don't expect Bryan to be in any championship title pictures anytime soon. So what I have in my mind is I have a feeling that after MJF gets done with Chris Jericho, which I do believe he will retire Chris Jericho, MJF is going to need to bide his time until Adam Hangman Page is ready to drop that title, because Adam Hangman Page, he's going to beat Kenny Omega, he's going to hold it for a decent amount of time. MJF and Page is going to be your Revolution 2022 main event for the World Championship. And that match right there, that match is going to be when MJF eventually wins the World Championship. But you're not going to insert MJF into the world title scene now. So my guess is, since Bryan wants to work dates in Japan, he's going to be a part-timer for AEW. So he's going to be there to put over young talent. You could do Bryan Danielson versus MJF at Full Gear to keep MJF occupied. And Bryan, he can take a loss because he's Daniel Bryan. He's one of the greatest of all time. Bryan doesn't need to win. Bryan's done everything there is to do. He could retire tomorrow and he would go into the Hall of Fame. I don't know. MJF, he's going to have some interesting feuds in his future before he gets to the World Championship. We could very well see MJF versus Bryan. We could very well see MJF versus Moxley. Maybe MJF wants to get his revenge on Moxley for beating him at All Out last year. We could see MJF and Moxley at Full Gear. It's a very, very, very interesting scenario. I dive into that more during the rundown for AEW All Out with Hibiki, so you can catch that tomorrow. But that's just my personal take on the Bryan Danielson issue. Well, not really an issue, the Bryan Danielson debut. You get what I'm saying there. I got a report from Ringside News. Ringside News apparently reported that Jim Ross, he is currently set to transition out of a full-time commentary role. Jim Ross actually responded to a fan question about the report on Twitter by stating, and I quote, "It's news to me," end quote. Now, I'm not really sure if he's legitimately shocked by this. I'm not really sure if he's just trolling the audience, but I do believe that Jim Ross is eventually going to transition out of that full-time commentary role. I do believe his value really lies as a backstage interviewer, because the backstage interviews that Jim Ross has had, I remember he had a backstage interview with Ethan Page and Darby Allin back at AEW Road Rager, and that was a great fucking interview. That was a great sit-down interview. The vibe was great. Darby Allin and Ethan Page, they flowed very, very nicely. The dynamic of JR and Ethan Page and Darby Allin, it was very, very organic. I loved the interview with JR and Chris Jericho this past Wednesday on Dynamite. I do believe that we are absolutely going to see JR transition out of that full-time commentary role, and we could potentially see Jim Ross transition into more of a backstage interview role, almost a Mark Henry role. As far as the commentary role, I do believe that Chris Jericho could very well transition into a full-time commentary role after his time with Fozzy is done. Jericho, I have a feeling he's just going to hang it up, because at this rate, what does he have left to prove? He really doesn't have anything left. He doesn't have anything left to do. He doesn't have anything left to prove. His career is made. And I have a feeling he's going to end up putting over MJF at All Out. Now, I'll keep a close eye on that, but I do believe that JR is transitioning out of that full-time commentary role. Now, we got a report from Mike Johnson on the Extreme Rules main event. According to Mike Johnson of PW Insider, Roman Reigns will be facing Finn Balor at the Extreme Rules pay-per-view. He stated, and I quote, "The word backstage from SmackDown is that Finn Balor, not Brock Lesnar, will be Roman Reigns' next challenger for the WWE Universal Championship. The expectation is that it will be the SmackDown brand's main event at next month's Extreme Rules pay-per-view," end quote. Now, I had a feeling that was going to happen. It kind of made sense But here's the problem that I have with that. I don't understand why you need to throw in Finn Balor in there as a one-off, when in reality, Roman Reigns is running out of opponents very, very quickly. And on top of that, who exactly are you gonna put up against Roman Reigns after he inevitably beats Brock Lesnar at the Crown Jewel show? I don't understand why we can't have Roman Reigns take the pay-per-view off. Have him take the pay-per-view off and have him go and just prepare for Brock Lesnar at Crown Jewel. On top of that, tonight on SmackDown, they're doing Roman Reigns versus Finn Balor for the Universal Championship. This is the third match this week that is a big-time money match for a pay-per-view. That's like a championship match for a pay-per-view that they're wasting away for free on television. And I'm trying to think to myself why, and I finally figured it out. I figured it out because this is the time of the year where WWE is going into a fan drought. This is the time of the year where WWE loses a lot of its audience, especially with the three biggest holidays of the year coming up. We got Halloween, we got Thanksgiving, and we got Christmas. We got these three big holidays coming up, and a lot of people are not really too concerned with pro wrestling, especially shit pro wrestling like WWE. People are going to drift away and never come back. This is the time of the year where the ratings dip into the lowest that we've ever seen. And at the end of it all, WWE, they have to know that. So they're literally just throwing away these big matches away for free on television just to try and cling on to any sort of interest that may be left over from SummerSlam season. They're wasting away these big matches for free on television just to try and spark up ratings and maintain interest in the WWE product, when in reality, nobody gives a shit. And then, of course, you'll have some fucking idiots go, well, what about AEW? Wasting away big matches for free on television. Last time I checked, AEW has 4 pay-per-views a year. Not every big-time matchup can be built up over 2 months and then put on pay-per-view. Not every big-time matchup can be on pay-per-view. Some matchups are going to be on Dynamite. Some matches are going to be on Rampage. Some big-time matchups are going to be put on television because they need to spark up interest in their weekly television product. WWE has 14 pay-per-views a year. On top of that, AEW has a long-term vision. AEW plans for the future. They have long-term plans set for the next 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 months. WWE, they don't even know what they're going to do for fucking Monday Night Raw in a couple days. Vince McMahon fucking ripped up the script and rewrote it as the show was going on. So what is the long-term vision for WWE? They don't even know what they're going to do for the Extreme Rules pay-per-view. I guarantee you right now that the entire Extreme Rules pay-per-view is going to be all rematches. We are not going to see one fresh matchup on the Extreme Rules pay-per-view. Meanwhile, you take a look at AEW All Out. We got Britt Baker and Chris Statlander, that's a fresh matchup. We got CM Punk, Darby Allin, that's a fresh matchup. We got Eddie Kingston and Miro for the TNT title, that's a fresh matchup. We got Satoshi Kojima versus Jon Moxley, that's a fresh matchup. Hell, even Paul White and QT Marshall's a fresh fucking matchup. I guarantee you right now, the entire Extreme Rules pay-per-view, we will not see one fucking fresh matchup. WWE, they don't know what the fuck they're going to do for the Extreme Rules pay-per-view. And this just proves it. They're literally throwing big matches out there for free on television with no build, with no story, just to try and keep the ratings up and keep the interest in the WWE product up. They don't know what the fuck that they're going to do for the Extreme Rules pay-per-view, and that's exactly why the WWE product right now is fucking stale as shit. It's as stale as dog shit that's been left out to rot in the sun for 4 days. I guarantee you right now that we are going to see a disqualification finish in the Universal title match tonight. Guarantee it. Moving on, I get a report from Ringside News, and Ringside News has actually learned that Ruby Soho is slated to make her debut at All Out Reports state that she is slated to be the Joker card in the AEW Women's Casino Battle Royale. I like this. I don't see her winning, but I like this. Ruby Soho, she's a woman that was never given the opportunity in the WWE, and I can absolutely see her as a top babyface and a top contender to win the AEW Women's World Championship, possibly towards the end of 2022. And a lot of people have even pitched this idea. I would not mind if Ruby Soho joins Malachi Black, and maybe we get a House of Black faction. We could possibly see the Butcher and the Blade in there. We could possibly see Ruby Riott, Ruby Soho in there. I definitely wouldn't mind that. Let me know what you guys think. But Ruby Soho, expect her in the Women's Casino Battle Royale. I got a report from Dave Meltzer on the Becky Lynch-Bianca Belair situation, and trust me, I got a lot to say about that because last week's LFU was deleted. I got a lot to say about the Becky and Bianca situation. So, according to Dave Meltzer, in the latest Wrestling Observer newsletter, the idea behind Becky Lynch winning quickly at SummerSlam was to generate sympathy for Bianca Belair. He wrote, and I quote, "People took it as a burial of Belair, but the idea was by beating her fast, you were supposed to get sympathy on her with the idea that she didn't deserve that." End quote. Oh, we feel sorry for her. But it's not because Becky beat her quick. It's not because of that. It's because of the simple fact that WWE management and WWE creative shafted her. It's not because of Becky Lynch. We don't feel sorry that Becky beat Bianca Belair quickly. We feel sorry for Bianca that she was fucking buried. We feel sorry for Bianca that she was mishandled. We feel sorry for Bianca that she was mistreated. We feel sorry for Bianca that WWE management spent all year building her up only to have her lose in fucking 30 seconds. On top of that, Meltzer even stated that the main plan was for Bianca Belair to become more over with this program. I would love for some WWE ball tickler. I would love for some WWE cocksucker to come to me in my mentions and point out a scenario throughout WWE history. When has there ever been a scenario in WWE history where an individual lost in 30 seconds and was more over for it in the end? I would love for someone to point that out. Where? Where in WWE history? I'm looking, I'm waiting. So when in WWE history has a superstar lost within 30 seconds and then poof, they were more over in the end? Here's a hint. It's never happened. It's never happened. It's never, ever, ever fucking happened. Never. It's never fucking happened. Bianca Belair losing in 30 fucking seconds just absolutely fucking buried everything that you did with her. Absolutely buried everything that you did with her. Not only, and I'm going to rant about this more, not only did you bury Bianca Belair, but you also buried Sasha Banks, Carmella, Bayley. You buried 29 other women that lost the Royal Rumble for Bianca to win it. You buried the Royal Rumble concept. You buried WrestleMania, and you buried the Hell in a Cell concept, all within 30 seconds just to get people talking. And on top of that, the Becky Lynch heel turn, it was apparently her idea. Really, it was her idea. So let me get this straight. Becky Lynch can go to Vince McMahon, she can pitch the idea of turning heel, and Vince will okay that, but people are trying to fucking tell me that she can't go to Vince McMahon and tell her, I don't think it's a good idea to have Bianca Belair lose in 30 seconds. Maybe we can have a competitive match and I can win, but I don't think it's the right idea to have Bianca Belair lose in 30 seconds after everything that you did to build this woman up, after everything that you did to make this woman into the next big thing. If you're telling me that Becky Lynch could not go to Vince McMahon and stand up to him when she has pull backstage, there are very few people that have pull backstage, but Becky Lynch is one of the very few people that have pull backstage, especially after they had her go over Shayna Baszler at WrestleMania 36 when she was fucking pregnant. Here's what I don't understand. Why was Becky Lynch so hesitant to advocate for Bianca Belair, but she advocated for Shayna Baszler, no problem. I'm still waiting for the report to come out saying that Becky Lynch stood up. Becky Lynch should have stood up regardless. I don't give a shit who you are. And the fact that she didn't, with the pull that she had, it proves to me that she is no better than Bill Goldberg, and she is just as selfish and greedy as Charlotte Flair. And what did I say on the rewind? What did I say on the fucking rewind a couple weeks back? I said on the rewind for SummerSlam, Becky Lynch is just a few wins away from becoming Charlotte Flair 2.0. Why do we hate Charlotte Flair? Because she's greedy, she's selfish, she refuses to advocate for others, and she's always in the title picture. Becky Lynch pulled a Charlotte Flair at SummerSlam. The fact that she did not stand up when she is already a made woman, and you had Bianca Belair, a woman who was this close, a woman who was the only woman since the days of the Horsewomen to actually break through and become a major star. The first woman since the Horsewomen and Ronda Rousey to become a major star in the women's division. A woman who was over, a woman who was on her way to getting on that level, and a win over Becky Lynch and continuing her SmackDown Live women's title reign would have further enhanced her. But no. We're not sorry for Bianca Belair, so much so that we're going to get behind her. We're sorry for Bianca Belair that WWE management fucked her over. And no one's going to take Bianca Belair seriously. And what they did on SmackDown was even worse. And I'm going to talk about that. What they did on SmackDown was even fucking worse. And it further buried Bianca Belair and further buried the rest of the SmackDown Live women's division. Becky Lynch is a selfish cunt. Becky Lynch is a selfish cunt, and what she did at SummerSlam, the fact that she refused to stand up, and the fact that she even pitched this heel turn, which doesn't even make any sense. It doesn't make any fucking sense. Why are we gonna boo Becky Lynch? There is no reason to boo Becky Lynch. Roman Reigns, we had a fucking reason to boo him. That was a heel turn right there that had a huge fucking reason behind it. It was staring you right in the fucking face. People like who else? People like maybe an AJ Styles. You could take a look at AJ Styles. His heel turn, that was somewhat justified. That was somewhat reasonable. He was kind of stale. But Becky Lynch, what reason do we have to boo Becky Lynch? What reason do we have to boo Becky Lynch? What this is telling me is that Becky Lynch pitched this heel turn because she pretty much knows, I'm a few wins away from becoming Charlotte Flair anyway with this decision. I'm not going to advocate for Bianca. So you know what? I'm just going to turn on the crowd before they turn on me. I don't care. Becky Lynch is becoming Charlotte Flair 2.0. And it is absolutely fucking disgusting. There was absolutely no reason for Becky to turn heel. None. We're not going to boo Becky Lynch after she came up through the rankings and we wanted her to succeed. And on top of that, she main evented WrestleMania and she became a double champion. We were all collectively rooting for Becky Lynch. We're not going to boo Becky Lynch after she had a kid and she worked her fucking ass off to care for the kid. And then she came back. She came back to a huge thunderous ovation. Why exactly are we going to boo Becky Lynch? And if you wanted to do the heel turn, here's the thing. If you wanted to do the fucking heel turn, I have 3 separate ideas that would have been immensely better than what we got at SummerSlam. Number 1, you could have had Becky Lynch come out, and then you could have had her attack Bianca after she attacked Carmella. And then we don't get the match at all, and then we get an actual build towards Becky and Bianca at Extreme Rules, and maybe we can get a reasonable explanation as to why Becky's doing what she's doing. Or, number 2, you could have done a triple threat match with Becky, Carmella, and Bianca. You could have Bianca win by pinning Carmella, and then you can have Becky turn heel in the same fashion that she tried to turn heel on Charlotte Flair back in 2018. Or, number 3, if you wanted to get Bianca over, how about this? How about this concept? If you wanted to get Bianca over, how about you have Becky come back, you get the competitive match, and how about this? Bianca beats Becky! Wow! What a concept! You want to get someone over, so they beat a major star. Man, it's such a hard concept. I don't think that Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard have ever thought of that one, right? But no, let's beat her in 30 seconds. Yeah, that's really going to get her over. That's really going to generate sympathy, right? What a terrible fucking creative decision. And if you defend what happened at SummerSlam, if you're defending this Becky Lynch heel turn and you do not understand that Becky Lynch is just as bad as Goldberg and Charlotte Flair, you are the fucking problem with the community. And you are making the show and you are making the community worse. I don't give a shit who you are. And I fucking hate you. Give a shit who you are. Wasted nearly 10 minutes ranting on that. Moving on. Speaking of a heel turn, according to WrestlingNews.co, Vince McMahon has apparently considered turning Keith Lee into a monster heel. Now listen. Listen. Keith Lee, as a heel, I was iffy on it, but I'm not going to completely knock it. Here's what I am going to say, though. In the future, maybe it could work. In the future. Maybe in the future, it could work. But right now, no. Right now, what is there for Keith Lee to turn heel? Why is Keith Lee turning heel? What's the reason? You can't just turn someone heel without any explanation. Maybe in a few years you can, but right now, no one's gonna boo Keith Lee. Why? Look at what just happened with him. Keith Lee just went through a battle with fucking heart inflammation. It's the same shit as Becky Lynch. She just came back after having a kid, caring for her family, and she looks fantastic. Same thing with Keith Lee. Keith Lee just overcame fucking death. Keith Lee overcame death. And Keith Lee overcame a heart inflammation issue over the last 7 months. And he made it out alive. And he was able to return to doing what he loves. Everyone was up in arms. Everyone was worried. Everyone was calling for Keith Lee to return. Everybody wanted Keith Lee to return to the ring. Everyone wanted Keith Lee to return to television. And everyone was collectively in support of Keith Lee as the weeks turned into months. Everyone wanted to see Keith Lee. Everyone was behind Keith Lee. So why exactly is Keith Lee just going to turn heel right out of the gate when there's no reason for it? When everyone collectively wants better for Keith Lee. When everyone collectively wants Keith Lee to be put in world title matches. When everyone wanted Keith Lee back on television. And when everyone came up in support when Keith Lee announced, yeah, he was dealing with heart inflammation and he overcame it. Why are we going to boo Keith Lee when he overcame death? Why exactly are you going to turn Keith Lee heel now? Why exactly do you want a Mark Henry-esque Hall of Pain? That was good for Mark Henry. Keith Lee is not Mark Henry. Keith Lee is a big man that can do things that a big man should not do. That's who Keith Lee is. Keith Lee is not a slow, methodical monster. Maybe in a few years, you can turn Keith Lee heel and experiment with that. But right now, why exactly is Keith Lee going to turn heel? There is no reason. And you can't give me a reasonable explanation as to why Keith Lee wants to turn heel. You're not going to be able to give me a reasonable explanation as to why Keith Lee is turning heel. Keith Lee overcame death. Everyone is collectively behind him. Why are we going to boo him after he overcame heart inflammation? Why? Here's a hint. We're not going to boo him. I don't mind a Keith Lee heel turn a couple years down the road, but as of right now, Keith Lee is a fucking babyface, and you need to push him as a fucking babyface. I got an update from Sean Ross Sapp. No Shawnathan comments today because I'm going to give him a break after what happened this week. So Sean Ross Sapp provided an update on Io Shirai. Io Shirai, who's actually returning to NXT next week, and she is going to defend the NXT Women's Tag Team titles against Casey Catanzaro and Caden Carter. Io Shirai won the NXT Women's Tag Team titles with Zoe Stark at the Great American Bash on July 6th, and she has not been seen since. Sapp stated that Io is fine and she is not injured, nor does she have COVID-19. She just isn't being used. And to be quite honest with you, this does not surprise me, considering that Bruce Pritchard and Vince McMahon have taken over NXT. I wouldn't be surprised if they give Io Shirai the Asuka treatment. Asuka hasn't been seen since fucking Money in the Bank. Injured or not, Asuka hasn't been seen since Money in the Bank. I wouldn't be fucking surprised if Io Shirai is given the Asuka treatment. Oh, no, Io Shirai, no, she can't speak English. Oh, she's a Joshi. Oh, no, she's Asian. No, Asian people can't get over. Not in the WWE, pal. So we're going to take the titles off of you, and then we're going to release you. I guarantee you right now, Io Shirai is going to be released. They're going to lose the NXT Women's Tag Team titles to Casey and Caden Carter, and then Io Shirai is going to be released. I guarantee you. Especially with this new edict and this new direction that NXT is taking. Whatever fucking reports you're hearing about, oh yeah, Triple H is still in control. No, he's fucking not. No, he's fucking not, you inbreds. No, he's not. Triple H is not in control. Triple H has never been in control of NXT this entire year. Triple H is going to pretty much do his own thing and be up in his office up in Stamford as a fucking day job. He is not in creative control of NXT anymore. And if someone tells you otherwise, they're fucking lying right to your face. How do I know? I don't need a fucking source. I don't need anyone to tell me anything. All you need to do is watch the fucking show. Triple H is not in control. I know for a fact that Io Shirai is going to be on the next block of chops. Guarantee ya, Io Shirai is gone. She's either going back to Stardom or she's going to AEW. I got a report on the WWE Championship match for Extreme Rules. The WWE Championship match for Extreme Rules reportedly, according to Dave Meltzer, could very well be Randy Orton versus Bobby Lashley. Now, Dave Meltzer stated, and I quote, "I guess they just decided that they are going to, it appears the decision was that they are going to go with Randy Orton and Bobby Lashley, so they wanted Randy Orton versus Bobby Lashley," end quote. Now, I don't understand why. I don't understand why Randy Orton, who's one half of the Raw Tag Team Champions, is fighting for the WWE Championship. If you're the Raw Tag Team Champions, that should be your sole focus. Randy Orton and Matt Riddle, they should be waiting for their next challengers. I don't understand. Here's what I don't understand. I don't understand why WWE doesn't take a page out of what AEW did with the World Title Eliminator Tournament. Take 4 teams, put them in a mini tournament, and then have them fight for a #1 contender spot against RK Bro. You could do the Viking Raiders, Mason T-Bar, the New Day, and the Lucha House Party. And then the Viking Raiders could win that, and the Viking Raiders could face off against RK Bro at the Extreme Rules pay-per-view. And then you could do the New Day match, and then you could do a Mason T-Bar match. And then ultimately you can ultimately get to Mansoor and Mustafa Ali, and that will be your endgame. That will be your endgame. That's what I don't understand. If you were going to put Bobby Lashley in an interim program, and listen, this man doesn't deserve a title opportunity. He doesn't. This man doesn't deserve a title opportunity, but I would just go forth with Sheamus. Bobby Lashley and Goldberg is already set for Crown Jewel in Saudi Arabia, so just do Sheamus. He doesn't have a championship. Have Randy Orton and RK Bro versus the Viking Raiders. Drew McIntyre, he can't challenge for the WWE Championship. You could do Drew McIntyre versus Damian Priest for the U.S. title, and then Drew's going to get drafted to SmackDown. And then you could just do Sheamus and Bobby Lashley. Simple as that. Simple as that. And those are your 3 matches for the Raw brand. Simple. I really don't understand. I don't understand the lack of care Why do we need Randy Orton versus Bobby Lashley when we know that Randy Orton's clearly not winning the WWE Championship? Just do Sheamus versus Bobby Lashley. Yes, it's heel versus heel. Yes, it doesn't make any sense, but at least Sheamus is not a champion, and Sheamus can take a loss. Simple. This is completely illogical. I don't know why they're going forth with it. I would have gone with Sheamus and Bobby Lashley. It would have been a hell of a lot better, and things would have flowed a lot smoother. I got one last report. Raging Girl Gamer. You know what? Fuck it. Raging Girl Gamer, you're now a moderator. Because you're fucking awesome. Raging Girl Gamer is now a moderator. She joins DD, Hoolagrim, and Rob Wells Jr. in the moderator department. We got 19 likes. Look at that. Look at that. Business is booming, people. The brand is fucking booming. How you doing, Rob? How you doing, Raging Girl Gamer? How you doing, Hoolagrim? You guys are awesome. You guys are awesome. Dee Dee says Sheamus needs to meet the sun. Blazed Radio, how you doing, Mr. Blazed Radio? If you have not already done so, hit that like button. We are 11 away from the goal. The goal, oh, look at that. Never mind, we're 10 away from the goal. Because we got 20 fucking likes, people. We are 10 away from the goal. The goal is 30 likes. Please make sure you share out the stream. Share out the fucking stream. Yes, I know, Cameron Johnson. Sorry, you didn't comment for a couple of minutes, so I forgot you were even here. Don't you got class, Cameron? Don't you got class? Hey, Professor! Cameron Johnson is watching YouTube. Suspend him. But I'm doing well. I'm doing well, Rob. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'm doing damn good. I'm doing damn good. Raging Girl Gamer. I've been taking over your role. Even though you have raging in your name, I've been raging this entire stream. And I got some shit to say about what happened with Buddy Murphy, a.k.a. Buddy Andrews. I got some shit to say about that. There we go, Earl Cole. I knew Earl Cole was going to be in the chat. I knew Earl Cole was going to be in the chat because when DJ Storms is live on YouTube, I know for a fact that Earl Cole is going to be in the chat. We got a damn good stream going on. It's a party going on in here. Look at this. We got Hoolagrim, Gamers Goon, Raging Girl Gamer, Dee Dee, Blazed Radio, Cameron Johnson, Rob Wells Jr., Adam Carr. We got a lot of good people in here. I like it. I like that. I like that. I like that. Please make sure you continue to share out that stream. Here's what I want. I'm going to go on Twitter right now. Before I talk about the Buddy Andrews situation, I'm going to go on Twitter. I want to see everyone tweet out that the LFU is live on YouTube right now. Let me see Dee Dee. I think Dee Dee did it. We're going to check Dee Dee. And she indeed tweeted it, which I just retweeted. People, I need y'all to share out this stream. If I don't see that it's shared out by you on Twitter, I'm going to be pissed. Because we want to get more people in here. Where is it? Party going on here, a celebration to last throughout the year. There you go. There you go, Hoolagrim. There you go, Hoolagrim. Hoolagrim. Oh, there we go. There we go. Gamers Goon, he did it. I see Gamers Goon, he did it. Smart man. So Gamers Goon and Dee Dee did it. Whoever did not do it, I'm coming after your ass. Maybe. You better be sharing it out. You better be sharing it out. Anyway. What do you say we talk about the Buddy Andrews situation? What do you say we talk about the Buddy Andrews situation? We got a lot to talk about the Buddy Andrews situation, actually. Buddy Andrews, apparently he stirred up some shit. Buddy Andrews stirred up some shit. Buddy Andrews, formerly known as Buddy Murphy, He tweeted out a picture of chains being broken off of wrists with the caption, "It's here, hashtag free agent." And he did that after his 90 days were up in his 90-day non-compete clause. He tweeted out that picture before deleting it, and he deleted it because some people on social media took it as racially insensitive. Some people took it as racially insensitive. And then he later apologized to anyone who may have been offended. I just see that Rob Wells Jr. and Cameron Johnson, they just shared out the LFU. Thank you very much. Greatly appreciate that. You guys are fucking beasts. Thank you very much. So, Earl Cole, here we go. Hang on a minute. Hula Grim just did it. Earl Cole just did it. Look at this shit. That's the power that I fucking have. Anyone that wants to doubt the power that I fucking have. And yeah, I know, I fucked up. Buddy Matthews, I apologize. I wrote it down wrong. I was tired. I was taking these notes at like 2 a.m. in the fucking morning. I apologize. So, Buddy Matthews, I apologize. Buddy Matthews, he tweeted out the picture of chains being broken off of wrists. Some people took it as racially insensitive, and then he later apologized to anyone who may have been offended. Man, this fucking cancel culture, liberal social justice warrior bullshit, it really does piss me off. It really does piss me off. People are going on and on about how it's racially insensitive. It's so racially insensitive. Fuck your racial insensitivity. It's not racially insensitive. You're just a fucking social justice warrior, hypersensitive pussy. Buddy Matthews did nothing wrong. It's just a bunch of fucking social media bots, just a fucking bunch of Joe Biden, Kamala Harris cocksuckers that want to go out of their fucking way and say, "Oh, well, look at what Buddy Murphy's doing." These fucking people that have no fucking job, that sit at home all day with fucking bongs, eating fucking McDonald's, and they have nothing better to do other than to start shit. It's fucking unbelievable. It is absolutely fucking unbelievable. I have seen people who are African American individuals go into Buddy Murphy's mentions and say, "I'm black and I wasn't offended by this." If black people are openly saying, "Yeah, I'm not offended by this," why the fuck are you? Oh, wait a minute, you're just a fucking pussy. And then people want to go out of their way and say, "Oh, Buddy Murphy's grievances aren't even justified. Especially after John Moxley, he received poor medical treatment for a staph infection," trying to make this a fucking medical issue. It's not just about poor fucking medical treatment, you fucking retards. It's about creativity. It's about lack of awareness. It's about lack of opportunity. Buddy Murphy was on 205 Live, and he was the fucking king of 205 Live. He had a fucking excellent reign as Cruiserweight Champion. He was putting on Match of the Year candidates with literally everyone that he stepped into the ring with in front of a half-empty fucking arena. And then he got drafted to SmackDown. They did nothing with him for 4 fucking months. Then he puts on 3 excellent matches back to back to back with Roman Reigns, Daniel Bryan, and Mustafa Ali. 3 matches that were better than the majority of WWE's pay-per-view matches that year. Then they take him off of television again. They do nothing with him. Then they put him with Aleister Black. They give us a great series of matches. Then he gets paired with Rollins, and he becomes Seth Rollins' lackey. He was in Seth Rollins' shadow during the feud with the Mysterios, when in reality, he was just as good of a wrestler, if not better than Seth Rollins. Then they split him away from Seth Rollins, and then, all of a sudden, They had him beat Seth Rollins. He makes out with Rey Mysterio's daughter. And then they take him off of television, never to be seen again until he's released. Are you telling me that Buddy Murphy does not have legitimate grievances? And then people want to say, oh, this WWE is a prison. This WWE is a prison agenda. It's so tiring. Who gives a shit if it's tiring? So you're tired of the fucking truth? You're tired of the fucking truth. You think that people just say this shit. You think that people say, oh, WWE is a prison. You think that people say this shit because it sounds cool, right? You think that they say it just because it sounds badass. People don't say it because it's cool. People don't say it just because it's badass. People are saying it because it's true. People are trying to warn everyone else in the wrestling industry not to sign with this company because they don't want them to suffer the same fate that they did. Buddy Murphy is warning everyone else in the wrestling community not to fucking sign with this company because if you do, your creativity and your opportunity is going to be suppressed. There is no reason why Buddy Murphy should not have been a solid U.S. champion, a solid Intercontinental champion. Who knows? Maybe he could have broken out into another Daniel Bryan figure. Maybe he could have became an underdog babyface and won the World Championship. But WWE never gave him the opportunity. And then people want to fucking come out and say, oh, this was racially insensitive. Fucking Obama ruined the country. I don't want to get political, but Obama ruined the country, brainwashing everyone that if you think one way, you're racist. If you don't think this way, then you are racist, you're sexist, blah, 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 blah. All this fucking overused garbage. Nothing that Buddy Murphy said was offensive. You're just a fucking hypersensitive bitch. I just seen Earl Cole and Rob Wells Jr., two black people who are great friends of mine, who just said that they weren't offended by Buddy Murphy's comments. If you got these people coming out and saying that they weren't offended, why the fuck are you offended? Oh yeah, you're a fucking pussy. Stop being a pussy and stop trying to bring up shit that was eradicated 200 years ago. Slavery does not exist anymore. Shit needs to die. This fucking idiotic fucking mentality needs to fucking die. No one's fucking racist. Racism is not prominent anymore. And that is something that everyone needs to get through their thick fucking skulls. Racism is not prominent anymore. I'm not saying it doesn't exist, but it's not prominent anymore. If you take a look at the 1800s versus now, racism is not prominent anymore. And if you still think that racism is still prominent, you are as stupid as I say you are. Stop being a social justice fucking warrior cocksucker. Enough of this shit. I swear to God, I am fucking ashamed. I am ashamed that I even breathe the same air as some of these pathetic little creatures. I don't even classify them as human beings. Pretty sure I'll end up ranting a little bit more. Pretty sure I'll end up ranting more. Fucking unbelievable. Anyway. I'm sweating my balls off right now. Even though it's 75 with a breeze. Well, why is the air conditioning not on in this fucking house? Seriously. Unbelievable. Anyway. Those are the news, rumors, and reports. I want to thank all of you for stopping by. You guys have been fantastic. The chat has been booming. Blaze Radio, Dee, Earl Cole, Rob Wells Jr., Hula Grim, Raging Girl Gamer. How are you? You guys are fantastic, and I greatly appreciate each and every single one of you for sticking by. You guys have been fantastic from the get-go. Telling everyone that's a part of the cancel culture and the social justice warrior domestic terrorist organizations to go fuck themselves. I'm sweating my balls off, Hula Grim. Unreal. We got a lot of weekly show material to cover, actually. We got about 5 weekly shows to cover. And then we're going to get on out of here. I don't believe that people got sweaty balls trending in the chat right now. Unbelievable. Blazed Radio has it right. Hashtag don't be a pussy. We're going to be tweeting out a lot more hashtags in the chat. Trust me on that. Trust me on that. Anyway, what do you say we get into the SmackDown review? Because SmackDown from last week was terrible. SmackDown from last week was fucking terrible. Let's talk about SmackDown. Becky Lynch kicked off the show. Becky Lynch, the female version of Goldberg, the next Charlotte Flair, kicked off the show. So she took the mic and she said, "The man has come around to Little Rock. We back on top, baby. I missed you guys. When I had to give up my Raw Women's title, it was the hardest thing I had to do. It felt like I lost my identity. And if you thought I was dangerous before, you have no idea how deadly I'm about to be." Which brings me to SummerSlam. I would like to take this time to say that I'm sorry for absolutely nothing. All I needed was an opportunity, and if you didn't think I was preparing for this, you haven't been paying attention to my career. All of a sudden, Bianca Belair made her way out, and she was fucking twirling her hair and fucking smiling. So right then and there, you are perceiving Bianca Belair as a fucking joke. Why should we take Bianca Belair seriously after she just got buried at SummerSlam and she is not coming out? She is not coming out with a stern look on her face, getting ready to rip Becky Lynch's arm off and beat her over the head with it. I don't understand. That is a terrible, terrible fucking detail right there. They're making Bianca Belair look like a fucking smiling doofus. She is no better than Finn Balor was 3 years ago. Smiley Bianca. So Bianca took the mic. She goes, "I'm not here to make excuses, but if you think I'm okay with what happened at SummerSlam, girl, I haven't worked hard only for it to be taken away from me in 26 seconds. Well, I'm sorry, Bianca, but it was taken away from you in 26 seconds, and no one is going to take you seriously ever again." So she goes, "How about the man and the EST tear it down for the SmackDown Women's title tonight?" So Zelina Vega then came out. I don't know fucking why. She goes, "I think that you should fall back." She mocked Bianca for losing, and maybe you should let me have that match with Becky. Bianca has actually been winning matches this year, Zelina Vega. I don't think you've won one fucking match since you've been back. So Zelina Vega, being a fucking retard as per usual, Carmella then came out, and she said, "Becky should be facing the most beautiful woman in all of WWE. They told me 1 hour before my match with Bianca that Sasha couldn't compete. She's like, I had to get my nails done, I had to get my hair done, blah, 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 blah. All of this fucking bullshit. My God, they have reverted back to the fucking Divas era." So then Liv Morgan comes out, and Liv Morgan, I'm actually happy to see Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan goes, "I don't understand why these two deserve to be in the title picture when they get beat week after week. Man, you know, you and me both, Miss Morgan. It's almost like WWE's mocking us right before our very eyes. They know that these two get beat week after week, but they're still in the fucking title picture. It is fucking unbelievable. It honestly is." So Liv Morgan goes, "Becky, if you're looking for a contender, I'm right here." Carmella then mocked Liv Morgan for being in catering. Bianca said, "This isn't about y'all, this is between me and the man, so let's give the people what they want." Becky goes, "Nah," and walked away. So then we get a big brawl. And all 4 women are going after each other. Liv ended up standing tall. This was terrible. This was nonsensical. Bianca looks like a fucking moron. And Becky is not getting booed. Carmella and Zelina Vega should be nowhere near the title picture as well. Carmella and Zelina Vega, they should be nowhere near the fucking title picture. And Bianca Belair, she is never going to be taken seriously ever again. And what they did afterwards with this fatal four-way match, it even doubled down on Bianca Belair being buried, as well as the SmackDown Live Women's Division being buried. Bianca, Carmella, and Zelina Vega, and Liv Morgan. This is a fatal four-way elimination match, and the winner would face Becky for the SmackDown Live Women's Championship. Now, one thing that I will say positive, one thing that I will say that was positive, the back and forth between Liv Morgan and Bianca was very good. They worked very well together, and I actually wanted to see more of what they could do. That's actually a future SmackDown Live Women's title match down the line. Liv Morgan has really come into her own, and Bianca Belair, we already know how good Bianca is. But here's what I don't understand. This was a fatal four-way elimination match, right? So Morgan and Bianca, they came down to the final two. Belair hit a KOD on Zelina Vega. Zelina Vega was eliminated. Liv with a rope-assisted flatliner, and she eliminated Carmella. We were down to Liv and Bianca. They went back and forth. Morgan with a nice Hurricane Rana, slingshot into a stomp in the corner for a 2. Belair came back with a spinebuster for a 2. Belair was caught with a code breaker by Liv Morgan, but Bianca kicked out. Belair then dropped Morgan on the top turnbuckle and hit the KOD, and Bianca Belair is getting her rematch with Becky. Now, again, Morgan and Bianca worked very well together, but I would love someone to justify this for me. Bianca Belair can beat Zelina Vega, Carmella, and Liv Morgan all in one match. She can outlast all three of those individuals, but when it comes to Becky, she can't last any more than 30 fucking seconds? How does that make any fucking sense? So by that logic, you buried Zelina Vega, Carmella, and Liv Morgan all within the same match with what you did with Bianca. So Bianca loses in 26 seconds only for her to beat 3 other women. What kind of fucking logic is that? What kind of fucking logic is that? So you just buried 3 other women in the women's division. Yeah, great job there. What should have happened is Bianca should have never lost in 30 seconds. If she was going to lose, it should have been a competitive 15 to 20 minute match. Terrible fucking booking. The Usos were in the back, and apparently they're playing up this new storyline with Paul Heyman, where they are questioning Paul Heyman's intentions with Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar. They don't believe that Paul Heyman knew Brock wasn't at SummerSlam. So apparently they are playing up that history with Heyman and Lesnar. Should be interesting. NXT. If they weren't dead before, they are certainly dead right now. They got a new tie-dye logo. Looks like we're getting a new tie-dye version of fucking Monday Night Raw. Man, I cannot wait to see fucking Loomis TV, a talk show on fucking NXT. I can't wait to see LA Knight in a fucking sofa in the middle of the ring on NXT, cutting a promo like the fucking Miz. Man, great job there. And people wonder why I'm not covering NXT anymore. NXT is fucking dead. Chad Gable versus Cesaro. Man, Cesaro and Chad Gable once again. And what happens? The match ends in a disqualification. Why? Because this is WWE and every other fucking match ends in a disqualification. Cesaro was in firm control with a top rope Frankensteiner, and then he hit the swing before Otis came in, caused the DQ, and they dropped Cesaro with a clothesline German suplex combo, and then Otis hit a diving body splash on Cesaro. Man, the Alpha Academy, they're great at what they do, but there's no reason to fucking care about them. There's really no reason to fucking care about them. The Alpha Academy should have been the ones to take the tag team titles off of the Mysterios. Hands down. The fact that they haven't, I don't even know. Man, you knew it was coming, people. You knew it was coming. Baron Corbin walked to the arena, and apparently he's rich now. He got rich in Vegas, and he said, "Address me as Happy Corbin. I'm filthy rich, and I'm happy." So, Happy Corbin, I'm still waiting for him to come out with fucking golf clubs and fucking hockey sticks and go fight Shooter McGavin in the golfing tournament and win money to save his grandma's house. So Happy Corbin came out. He took the mic. He said, "Look at me. Look at this smile. I was thinking about filing for bankruptcy and I thought I hit rock bottom. But I look incredible and I'm the happiest man in the world." So they played a package of SummerSlam weekend where Corbin won all this fucking money in Las Vegas. He goes, "I'm wearing a $3,000 suit. My wife welcomed me back home, and I had brand new beef on the dinner table. I want all of you to call me Happy Corbin, but I also want Big E to come on out. I'm not going to hurt you, just come on out." So Big E then came out. Corbin goes, "I appreciate you coming out, and I know you're ticked off, but I want to buy your contract. How much?" So Big E was offered 3 different offers by Baron Corbin. $200,000, $50,000, and $100,000. Corbin was like, "Hey, you may cash in and lose." Big E goes, "So, kind of like what happened to you?" And Corbin goes, "Yeah, exactly, it happened to me." So apparently Corbin is just being a happy-go-lucky doofus. Big E said, "Hell no." And then he said, "You know, you can spend that $100,000 on a pencil and an Arkansas plush toy." So obviously he's hyping up Arkansas like The Rock and Mick Foley would do if they're in a certain state. Corbin goes, "I'm too rich and happy for this." Big E goes, "I'm done with you. Either you hit the bricks or I'll slap that smile off your face." So Corbin ended up leaving, and that was pretty much it. What's the fucking point of this? Seriously, what's the point of this? What is the fucking endgame? No one gives a shit. Nobody gives a shit about Baron Corbin. Nobody. Nobody gives a shit. The man is a complete fucking waste of time. I don't give a shit who you are. If you're telling me you like it, you're either fucking lying to me or you're in the minority. The majority of people don't give a single fucking shit. No one cares about Corbin. It is lone wolf or bust. Lone wolf or bust. If you're telling me you care, you're in the minority or you're flat out fucking lying to my face. Okay? Happy Corbin is a waste of time. It is lone wolf or bust. And on top of that, this is pretty much just Cameron Grimes' gimmick in the form of Baron Corbin. Who gives a shit? What is the fucking point? No, again, I'm going to reiterate again, and I'm going to reiterate until everyone gets it through their thick fucking skulls. Nobody gives a shit, and this is a waste of time. Get it? Got it? Good. And on top of that, I don't know what the fuck they're doing with Big E. Big E, he's a guy that supposedly is going to be the next Universal Champion. I don't even know who they're going to have Big E cash in on. But right now, he ain't fucking ready. You need to fucking start building up Big E like a legitimate fucking threat, and now. Because as we speak right now, Big E has absolutely no steam behind him. And I hate saying this, but Big E is no better than Otis. Big E is no better than Otis with the Money in the Bank briefcase. They have done nothing to elevate Big E whatsoever. You need to have him beat more people than just fucking happy-go-lucky, broke, now I'm Rich Corbin. What a waste of time. Edge was interviewed on SmackDown, and he said, I'm moving on from Rollins, and I'm going back to what he cost me, the Universal Championship. So, obviously, Edge is looking to move forward, but I do not see this feud between Edge and Rollins ending. I actually do believe that they're fighting again at Extreme Rules, if I'm to be quite honest. So, Edge was interviewed. Edge was interviewed and said, I'm moving on from Rollins, going back to what he cost me, the Universal Championship. And then Seth was interviewed. He said, congratulations, Edge. You did it. For me, it was a loss that taught me something. I admire you, Edge, and I admire the life you built for yourself. And if I want to fight my way back to the Universal Championship, maybe I need to be a little more like you. Clearly, and I'm going to make sure that everyone gets this through their skulls, clearly, this is not over. It's not over. I'm sorry, it's not over. Shinsuke Nakamura and Rick Boogs versus Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode. This was actually a fun little tag team match. Rick Boogs, he's actually very good at what he does. We had a nice double suplex by the Dirty Dogs on Rick Boogs before he tagged in Nakamura. Nakamura hit a reverse suplex and a sliding German suplex on Robert Roode. Ziggler with a zigzag to Nakamura on the floor, and the Dirty Dogs took over. Boogs got the hot tag. Boogs with a big belly-to-belly suplex and a running bulldog for a 2. Boogs took out Roode. Nakamura saved Boogs. We had a Kinshasa to Robert Roode. Ziggler tossed out Nakamura, and then Boogs with the pump handle power slam for the win. This was a fun little match right here. Probably the best thing on the show. But here's something that I want to ask. Why are you building up Nakamura and Rick Boogs as a tag team? Why are you building them up as a tag team now? Nakamura should be focusing solely on the Intercontinental Championship. I don't mind Rick Boogs and Nakamura in the tag team division and them being built up as a tag team to potentially take the titles off of the Usos. I don't mind that. But if we're talking in terms of the bigger picture, Nakamura is the Intercontinental Champion. Why are you going to pretty much neglect the Intercontinental title just so you can have a fun little tag team stint with Nakamura and Boogs? I don't get it. If you want to build them up as a tag team, Nakamura shouldn't have won the Intercontinental title. Should have been Cesaro. But Nakamura is the Intercontinental Champion. I hope that he has a nice, lengthy reign with it. Naomi's been found. She met with Sonya Deville. Deville said that she had no record of Naomi coming to SmackDown, and Deville said she'll let Naomi know of her match next week. So I'm not sure what that means right there, but I can see that as a little tease for Naomi to potentially join Roman Reigns and the Bloodline. And I hope that happens, because Naomi, as the SmackDown Women's Champion alongside Roman Reigns and the Usos, is going to be fantastic. Dominic Mysterio was told by Rey that he needs to go out on his own. Rey Mysterio said, I need to take a step back, but I'll always have your back no matter what. I spoke to Adam Pearce, and I got you a match, but I don't know who your opponent is. Dominic's opponent ended up being Sami Zayn, and this wasn't a terrible matchup. This wasn't a terrible matchup at all, but it wasn't a blowaway match. Nothing really to invest your time in. Sami then pulled down the rope against Dominic as he went for the 619. Rey came out to support his son. Coming back from commercials, Sami tried to wear down Dominic. Dominic came back with an enziguri. He hit the 619, but Sami rolled out of the way of the frog splash. And then Sami hit an exploder suplex into the corner and a haluva kick for the win. I would like to hope that Sami Zayn is potentially in line for an Intercontinental title match against Shinsuke Nakamura. So I do believe that we are going to see some interesting matches between Nakamura and Sami Zayn, potentially Nakamura and Kevin Owens, potentially Nakamura and Cesaro, hopefully when the time is right. We'll see what happens, but I do believe that Sami Zayn is going to be an opponent for Nakamura during Nakamura's Intercontinental title reign. Roman Reigns came out for his family celebration. Heyman said, "Your tribal chief has granted you permission to acknowledge him. You will also acknowledge your undisputed SmackDown Tag Team Champions, the Usos." This is the moment in the show where we all get to celebrate the fact that we've seen enough, because Cena was beaten by the undisputed Universal Champion, Roman Reigns. Before Roman could speak, Finn Balor came out. He interrupted the celebration. He took the mic and said, "Roman, you know I got screwed out of our match at SummerSlam. Edge is talking about the Universal Championship. Brock Lesnar is back, but I'm not waiting in line. I'm challenging you to a match for the Universal Championship next week on SmackDown, which is tonight." Finn then attacked Roman before the Street Profits came out to aid Finn Balor, and they took out the Usos as Finn Balor gave a coup de grace to Jimmy Uso as Roman watched. And I just ranted about this earlier. They're rushing this because WWE is legitimately trying to cling onto any sort of interest that they may have left over SummerSlam season, because this is the point in time in the year where WWE goes into a fan drought. So they're wasting away these big matches for free on television. Guarantee you this is a book, bait, and switch tonight, and we get a DQ finish and then another matchup at Extreme Rules. Why? Because that's what WWE does. Rematches all the fucking time. What a terrible show. My God. That was SmackDown for you. I hope that everyone is doing well. And I thank all of you for sticking by. Hans Sam, the man, how are you? They should rename him Jobber Corbin. Obviously, he's talking about Happy Corbin. Earl Cole with the hashtag, "What are you doing, WWE?" I don't even know what they're doing, bro. Earl, I have an offer for you. I actually have an offer for you. Mr. Earl Cole, how would you like to be my guest on the rundown for Extreme Rules at the end of the month? I'm going to need a guest. I think that Earl Cole is the man for that. Peanut Butter Jelly with a baseball bat, how you doing? Be sure, people, if you have not already done so, hit that like button. We're at 24 likes. Hit the like button. Share out the stream on all platforms of social media. We are 6 likes away from hitting 30, and we are almost there. And I greatly appreciate each and every single one of you for sticking by me. You guys are fantastic. You guys are fantastic. And we are going to get into the AEW Rampage debut. And Rampage was It wasn't terrible, but it was pretty much more of a setup show. Mainly because of the fact that we had a big go-home show this week for AEW Dynamite. And then, of course, All Out. All Out's pretty much set. All Out is set in stone. I think it's going to be an excellent show. I can't wait for it. I'm very, 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 very much looking forward to it. So, Rampage, we started off with Jurassic Express versus the Lucha Brothers. This was the finals of the AEW World Tag Team Title Eliminator match. This was a great fucking match. Between two teams that really showed up and showed out. This was absolutely the best match of the week. Absolutely loved AEW Rampage this week. This match was awesome. We had Phoenix and Jungle Boy having a nice back and forth. We had Penta and Luchasaurus getting in each other's faces. Everyone was super kicking everyone. All 4 men were down. Phoenix and Jungle Boy hit stereo suicide dives onto the opposing members of their team. We had a double clothesline and both men are down. We had a tag to Luchasaurus. We had a German suplex to Penta, a double lariat to the Lucha Bros, and then a tail whip kick to Penta. Luchasaurus then gave a big choke slam to Rey Fenix, and then a standing moonsault for a 2. We had a tag to Rey Fenix, and then a spin kick in the corner, followed up by a beautiful frog splash for a 2, and then a diving headbutt by Luchasaurus. We had a tag to Jungle Boy, and Jungle Boy with a big lariat and a poison Rana for a 2. He then locked in the snare trap, but Penta was able to save it. We had a super kick by Penta and a fireman's carry backbreaker, followed up by a pump handle driver, but Jungle Boy still kicked out. If you haven't watched this match, please go out of your way to watch it. Ray Phoenix then, with a Hurricane Rana to Jungle Boy off the top rope, sending him into Penta and Luchasaurus. Marco Stunt was also taken out. Kind of looked a little stupid with Luchasaurus and Penta just standing there, waiting for Jungle Boy to fall on them. Then we had a super kick by Jungle Boy, a tag to Luchasaurus. Phoenix and Jungle Boy were on the apron. Penta, like the fucking madman that he is, gave a Canadian Destroyer to Jungle Boy on the fucking apron. And then, back in the ring, Phoenix and Penta hit a double super kick to Luchasaurus, but he kicked out at 1. Luchasaurus then suffered super kick after super kick for a 2. And then we had a wheelbarrow splash and then an assisted pile driver. And the Lucha Bros defeat Jurassic Express, and the Lucha Bros will face the Young Bucks inside of a steel cage for the AEW World Tag Team titles, and it's going to be great. It's going to be great. Afterwards, the Bucks attacked the Lucha Bros before Jurassic Express was able to chase them off, and that was pretty much that. We had a little segment with Miro. He was going to be interviewed. Miro tossed Fuego del Sol out on the ramp, and he was kicking him down to the ring. Schiavone was then chased out of the ring. Miro took the microphone, and he goes, "Fuego, you accepted something you shouldn't have, and I said I would forgive you for it, but first, reveal your face to the world." He then ripped off Fuego's mask and then gave him a super kick. All of a sudden, Eddie Kingston came out. He did not say a single word, did Eddie Kingston. Instead, Eddie Kingston came out, ran down for a fight, and Eddie Kingston hit some chops to Miro and a big exploder suplex before the referees tried to come out and separate them before Eddie Kingston stood tall as Miro retreated. Short, simple, and effective. I like it. I like it. And I'm very much looking forward to seeing what Eddie Kingston and Miro do at All Out. Ty Conti versus the Bunny. Very typical match. Really nothing of substance. Only went about 5 minutes. Really nothing to go back and watch. Bunny attacked Conti before the bell. She was in early control with a rising knee lift. Conti then came back with some chops. The Bunny then raked the eyes before the Bunny kept the aggression on Ty. Ty was then caught with a big leaping lariat. Ty then came back with a modified Bossman slam and a punt kick barrage. She hit the Ty KO, but then all of a sudden, Penelope Ford came out to distract the ref. The Blade then gave the Bunny some brass knuckles before the Bunny hit Ty Conti with the brass knuckles, and then she got the win. And that set up a match next week for Dynamite with Penelope Ford and the Bunny. Main event was Kenny Omega and Brandon Cutler versus Frankie Kazarian and Christian Cage. And I gotta give Brandon Cutler props. Brandon Cutler is playing his role right now beautifully. Brandon Cutler is portraying that cocky, douchey, little rodent-type character very, 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 very well. And I gotta give him a lot of credit for that. So, Kazarian dispatched of Cutler fairly early before Omega came in. He went after Kazarian before Kazarian tagged in Christian Cage. Omega then tagged in Cutler. And then Cutler was on the receiving end of Cage and Kazarian's offense. Cutler was getting his ass kicked. Omega then came in and isolated Kazarian before Cutler came in, just being a fucking nerd. He was dancing around and elbow dropping. He actually did a dab, so I think that if Danielle saw Brandon Cutler do a dab, she would have gone crazy there. But we got a tag to Christian Cage. He avoided the one-winged angel, and he hit some punches in the corner, and then a reverse DDT to Omega and to Cutler. Omega was then crotched Christian Cage on the post. Omega then accidentally hit Cutler with the V-trigger. Omega then bailed out. Christian Cage hit a spear on Brandon Cutler and then a kill switch, and Christian Cage won it for his team. Decent little match. Really nothing too crazy. Pretty much they've done all that they could to build up towards the all-out pay-per-view and the match between Christian Cage and Kenny Omega. And at the end of it all, outside of Jurassic Express and the Lucha Bros, really nothing of substance on Rampage. This week's Rampage looks a little bit better. I hope to see a little bit better from the performers on Rampage. Monday Night Raw was terrible, as per usual. I really don't know what to say about Monday Night Raw, but before we get into the Monday Night Raw review, once again, thank you all for sticking by me. You guys have been fantastic the entire time. Earl Cole, Peanut Butter with a Baseball Bat, DD, and then, of course, Blazed Radio and Hula Grim. Everyone's been great. Everyone's been fantastic, and I greatly appreciate everyone that has come out of their way to support me. You guys are absolutely amazing, and I would not be who I am without any of you. Please make sure you hit that like button. If you haven't already done so, share out the stream. We've had a lot of people sharing out the stream. You guys have been on fucking fire. You guys have been on fire, and I absolutely fucking love it. I love it, people. I love it. Anyway, we are going to get into the Monday Night Raw review, and yes, I got a lot of shit to say about Monday Night Raw. It is definitely going to be a Monday Night Raw review of the LFU full of rants. Of course, Danielle will like that. Raw. What do I say about Raw? I don't even know what to say about Raw at this rate. I really don't. It's just terrible. It's just flat out terrible. It's just flat out fucking lazy. And the fact that they ripped up the script, it really just goes to show you how little care that they have. Again, I don't know what I can say that other people haven't already said. I don't know what I can say that I haven't already said. It's just flat out depressing at this rate. It really is. It's flat out depressing to see. It's flat out depressing to watch. The WWE product is just flat out depressing in its own right. And again, the only reason why I still watch it is because of this. And it's just taking all the fucking energy out of me. It really is. Monday Night Raw started off with Damian Priest. He kicked off the show with his U.S. Open Challenge. He took the mic, he said, "I feel alive, and I've always wanted to do this. Welcome to Monday Night Raw." Yeah, you know what I've always wanted to do? I've always wanted to not watch Monday Night Raw. That's what I've always wanted to do, but of course I have this to do. So, he goes, "I became the United States Champion. I'm going to show it the respect it deserves, like Rey Mysterio, Jeff Hardy, and John Cena, unlike our WWE Champion, Bobby Lashley. And I'm going to handle this right. The United States Open Challenge starts now." And out came Sheamus. And Damian Priest let out a sigh of disappointment. Sheamus goes, "I can't believe I'm saying this, but I actually agree with you. Bobby Lashley loves to run from a fight. But I'm going to take this bro kick, wipe that smile off your face, and take back my gold." McIntyre then came out, and he goes, "As much as I want to see Priest beat Sheamus' ass for the 500th time," mocking everyone right in plain sight, "I think the WWE Universe deserves something new. I have been WWE Champion, Intercontinental Champion, Tag Team Champion, but I've never been the United States Champion. And I propose Priest versus McIntyre for the United States Championship tonight." Bobby Lashley then came out, and MVP came out with him. He goes, "The Almighty wanted to hold an open challenge, but the problem is he's beaten everyone, and it's pointless. In your case, it's somewhat admirable. But what is good for business is Bobby Lashley faces Damian Priest and becomes a double champion. Damian Priest, he was looking on as RK Bro ended up coming out. This was just a fucking clusterfuck. This was not good at all. Everything, I don't understand. I really don't understand. Before we get into what RK Bro said, I don't understand why this company always has to make everything overly convoluted. It was just an absolute fucking mess. So, afterwards, Randy Orton and Matt Riddle came out. Orton goes, Riddle, I think everything that MVP said sucked. Riddle goes, not like a Roomba, because that's what they're supposed to do. Roombas suck, by the way. So, then we had Riddle saying, you know, we have two championships. Why don't we offer an open challenge? Lashley goes, maybe I should take your tag team titles. Riddle goes, why don't we have an open challenge against Lashley and his Brodeo clown, MVP? MVP pretty much accepted. And then all of a sudden, Adam Pearce and Sonya Deville came out. They made a triple threat match for the U.S. title and then a Raw tag team title match. A complete fucking overly convoluted mess. And everyone involved, it legitimately looked like it was pieced together last minute, which it was. Rhea Ripley came out and she introduced Nikki T-R-A-S-H, Nikki Trash. I wouldn't be surprised if they're a new tag team. I legitimately wouldn't be surprised if they're a new tag team. And let me tell you something. If they are a new tag team, if they are pushed over Shotzi and Tegan, not like the tag team titles mean anything anyway, but Shotzi and Tegan should win the tag team titles, hands down. So, Rhea Ripley, she took on Shayna Baszler. I'm not going to tell you that this was a terrible match, but who the fuck cares? The women's division is fucking dead. It really is dead. Shayna targeted the arm of Ripley. Shayna with some kicks to Ripley's chest before Ripley came back with a basement dropkick. Northern Light suplex for a 2. Nia flapjacks, then ran over Nikki Trash. She had a Samoan drop to Nikki on the floor. And you want to know what the sad part is? Shayna Baszler can't even get a fucking win off a distraction. She tried to take advantage of Rhea Ripley, and Rhea Ripley rolled up Shayna Baszler even after she was blatantly distracted for the 1-2-3 win. Shayna Baszler hasn't won a match since fucking February. Unfucking believable. Afterwards, Nia attacked Rhea Ripley, as reckless as she fucking is, and gave Rhea Ripley a Samoan drop. And what happened later with Nia Jax, holy shit. Was it bad. The Viking Raiders versus Jiggle My Balls, a.k.a. Jinder Mahal, and Veer, not Shanky, Veer. This was pretty academic. Viking Raiders get the win with a Viking experience to Jinder Mahal. Listen. I am all for seeing Jinder Mahal lose. But are we seriously putting Jinder Mahal on television over Asuka, over Liv Morgan, over Keith Lee, over Ricochet, over Drew Gulak, over Shelton Benjamin, over the Lucha House Party, over Cedric Alexander? The fact that all of those individuals are sitting in catering, but we have Jinder fucking Mahal on television consistently is fucking criminal in its own right. Anyone who is in support of Jinder Mahal, I think you need to have your fucking head examined. Damian Priest versus Sheamus versus Drew McIntyre. This was a triple threat match for the United States Championship, and this was excellent. This was the best thing on the show. Absolutely the match of the week for this week. This was excellent. Absolutely fucking excellent. Now, Drew and Priest, they were working together against Sheamus early on. Sheamus with a diving clothesline to Priest for a 2. Sheamus kept the aggression on Damian Priest before Drew came in, and he lit up Sheamus with some belly-to-belly suplexes. Drew was then sent into the post. Priest with a spinning heel kick to Sheamus. Drew then sent Priest to the floor, and Drew hit a beautiful Tope Con Hero over the top rope, taking out both men. We then had Priest getting sent back into the ring. Drew with a Meishinuku driver for a 2 count. Drew then took Priest to the top rope. Drew was then set up in the Tree of Woe position. Sheamus went up to the top after Priest. Drew with a deadlift German suplex in the Tree of Woe position. And Sheamus hit a superplex on Priest. Both men were down. Coming back from a second commercial, Drew and Sheamus were chopping each other before we had an Alabama slam by Sheamus for a 2. Priest then hit the South of Heaven. Drew then saved the match. Priest and Drew went back and forth. We had a bro kick to Priest, and he was gone. Drew then with a future shock DDT. Drew then went for a Claymore. Sheamus with a nasty fucking punt knee strike right to the face. That got a 2 count. Drew barely kicked out. Sheamus then went up to the top, and he went for white noise, and he hit it off the middle rope. He went for the cover, but Drew just kicked out. Drew then hit a Claymore to Sheamus. Priest rolled through and hit a Reckoning on Drew McIntyre, and he pinned Drew McIntyre for the 1, 2, 3. Excellent match. Priest pinned McIntyre. Priest went over. Very, very, very happy to see that. But here's what I don't understand. Again, what are you going to do for the pay-per-view? Are you going to do Drew and Priest again? Drew just lost. You pretty much wasted the big moment of Drew McIntyre putting over Priest away for free on Monday Night Raw. So you're going to do Priest versus Drew again. I don't expect Drew to win because he's reportedly moving over to SmackDown to face Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship. But as we speak right now, why exactly did you waste this? Oh yeah, that's right, because you don't have any other plans, you don't know any better, and you're trying to keep interest in the WWE product, even though we all know that the fans are going to drift away from the WWE product the more that we go into the fall. Good job there. Good job there. Excellent match, but they wasted this big moment away for free on television, and they should not be doing that. Afterwards, Drew offered his hand to Priest, and Priest accepted. Very nice show of respect right there. Reggie was walking in Oklahoma City Park, talking about his dream to travel the globe. R-Truth and Akira Tozawa were disguised as a dog and a dog owner. Reginald was flipping and diving away from Tozawa and Truth. Who finds this shit funny? Who the fuck finds this shit funny? Seriously. It is a fucking joke. The show is a fucking circus, and if you find any enjoyment in it, you may be as retarded as I say you are. I don't give a shit who you are. Stop ruining my fucking show. Eva Marie. Why the fuck is Eva Marie still employed? Why is Eva Marie getting a consistent spot on television over fucking Cedric and Asuka and Shelton and all these other fucking people? Why? Why? Unreal. So she took on Doudrop. Doudrop coming out. I'm not sure if I was watching Doudrop or if I was watching Disco Inferno. What the fuck was that theme music? And why the fuck is she doing jazz fucking fingers at everyone in the fucking crowd? What a joke. Doudrop attacked Eva Marie before the bell. And then she counted the 1, 2, 3 herself. And then she said, and the winner of this match is Doudrop. Piper Niven, I guarantee you right now, Piper Niven is going to be released within 2 months. Guarantee it. What the fuck? They got her coming out to fucking Disco Inferno music as if it's WCW 2000, doing jazz fingers at everyone. What the fuck is this gimmick? We need Piper Niven back. We need Piper Niven back. Piper Niven was putting on classics in front of nobody in NXT UK with Kaylee Ray. Now she's doing jazz fingers and coming out to fucking disco music. What a fucking embarrassment. Karrion Kross versus Humberto Carrillo. You know, I talked about this last week before I had to delete the stream because of shitty connection. Karrion Kross reportedly, it was rumored that Karrion Kross is now coming out dressed as fucking Demolition and a fucking medieval hatchet man's love child because apparently they want to make him more marketable. According to Andrew Zarian of the Matt Man podcast. More marketable. So you are telling me that what he was before this, what they were doing before the medieval hatchet man look with the lights and the smoke and the theatrics and Scarlet, you're telling me that wasn't marketable at all? Oh, wait a minute. That was a Triple H creation, and we can't give Triple H credit. Triple H can't get any credit, so you need to take away everything that Triple H created, rebuild it in your image, and if it succeeds, you'll take the credit for it. If it fails, you're going to blame Triple H. Everything that Kross was doing before this was marketable. All of a sudden, he needs a medieval hatchet man costume and a Demolition-esque suspenders in order to feel marketable. Really? What a joke. What a ridiculous fucking outfit. Kross ended up winning with a Kross jacket and Carrillo tapped out. Who cares? Kross is dead. No one's going to give a shit about him. They have him in no stories. He's not in a storyline. He is not in anything important. They're just having him beat fucking jobbers. He's dead. No one gives a shit about Karrion Kross. You killed Karrion Kross's career. And I find it funny that Impact actually tweeted something out about Karrion Kross's career. Impact tweeted out the other day something about Karrion Kross's career. Man, they're preparing for his return in a few months. Nia Jax. Oh my God. Nia Jax and Charlotte Flair. People. I'm not sure if you people realize, but there's a little code. I know people know what I'm talking about. There's like this code here that we live by on the fucking channel. And I know that everyone knows the code. The code is... Fuck Charlotte Flair. Fuck Charlotte Flair. And all of her supporters. If everyone can get a fuck Charlotte Flair trending in the chat, I would greatly appreciate that. Oh my God. You know what I have a feeling? It's almost like Nia Jax and Charlotte Flair were talking backstage and they were like, you know what? How can we top Eva Marie and Alexa Bliss for worst women's match of the year or worst match of the year in general? How can we top Alexa Bliss and Eva Marie for worst match of the year? How can we do that? Look no further. This match was fucking terrible. It was fucking painful to watch. And they legitimately got into a shoot fight. This match was fucking terrible. And I mean terrible. Why the fuck is Nia still on the roster? How is it that Nia Jax has been on this roster for 6 fucking years and she has gotten worse as time went on? She almost gave Charlotte Flair a concussion 3 fucking times in this match. If it hadn't been for The Rock, she would have been fired 5 years ago. And then some people are trying to compare her to Stan Hansen. How fucking retarded can people be? Holy shit. How fucking retarded can people be? I'm legitimately just at a loss of words. How fucking retarded can people be actually trying to compare Nia Jax to Stan Hansen? It is absolutely beyond comprehension how stupid these people are. And Charlotte Flair, I hate Charlotte Flair. Charlotte Flair is a vindictive, manipulative, greedy cunt, but I feel sorry for her. I legitimately feel sorry for her. This was fucking excruciatingly painful to watch. Jax legit no-sold a big boot. Looked fucking terrible. Charlotte Flair literally jumped onto Nia Jax's back and hit a terrible-looking reverse DDT. Jax then sent Flair into the turnbuckle and then gave her a choke slam for the win. That was it. That was it. Now, here's the main story of this match. Nia Jax is fucking trash. Nia Jax is AIDS. We already knew that. Here's the main story of this match. This was the second time within a month that Charlotte Flair was pinned clean. This was the second time within a month that Charlotte Flair was pinned clean. I am now thoroughly convinced, you know for a fact, this absolutely has something to do with Ric Flair. This absolutely has something to do with Ric Flair. I don't know what, I don't know how, but I know for a fact that Charlotte Flair, she has to be considering leaving the company and joining AEW. Because she wants to be with her fiancé and she wants to be with her father. You have to believe that Charlotte Flair is taking that into consideration. I'm just throwing it out there. It's a possibility. Omos versus John Morrison. Omos is a fucking terrible pro wrestler. Why do we have Omos on the roster? I'm not a fan of Braun Strowman, but Braun Strowman, there was a lot more value in Braun Strowman than there was with Omos. He actually left on a high note, did Braun Strowman. He put on a great fucking match with Bobby Lashley and Drew McIntyre back at WrestleMania Backlash. Omos is a terrible fucking wrestler. Omos wins in 2 minutes. Afterwards, Xavier Woods fought AJ Styles. Wow, another rematch. Yeah, we haven't seen that match before. Styles makes Woods tap out to the calf crusher. Who cares? Really nothing of substance. Main event. Main event was RK Bro versus Bobby Lashley and MVP. This was for the Raw Tag Team Championships. Riddle was isolated early on before he made the tag to Orton. MVP got lit up. Orton with a very nice snap power slam. Bobby Lashley caught a draping DDT. MVP then hit a boot to Orton. We had a tag to Lashley. Lashley lit up Orton with some shoulder tackles. He went for the hurt lock, but Orton got the tag to Riddle. Riddle then with a final flash and then a floating bro. Because Orton, I'm sorry. I lost my train of thought there. So Riddle got the floating bro, but MVP saved it. Orton then sent Lashley into the post. Riddle then took out Omos. Styles was then dropped on the table because they were on commentary. Riddle then with a floating bro to MVP and RK Bro retain. Fun little match. Afterwards, Lashley hit the spear on Riddle, and then Orton hit an RKO on Lashley, and that was pretty much that. A fun little match, but outside of RK Bro and Damian Priest, this show fucking sucks. This show was lazy. This show was completely directionless. They don't know what the fuck they're doing, and there's absolutely no interest in the WWE product as we speak. It was a waste of time. That was Monday Night Raw for you. Rob Wells Jr. with the Black Great Khali comments. You are absolutely correct. Earl Cole says at least Strowman can wrestle. You are absolutely correct there. Karrion Kross looking like a damn Elder Scrolls character. That was a good one, Rob. That was a good one. Rob said, Disco Fever, yeah. It's unreal. I see we got some fuck Charlotte Flair in the chat going on. Some fuck Charlotte Flair comments in the chat going on because fuck Charlotte Flair. So, we got 2 more shows to go over and then we're going to get out of here. I appreciate each and every single one of you sticking by me for the last 2 hours. You guys are fantastic. And we are up to 26 likes. We are just 4 more likes away from 30. If we can get to 30, that would be great. I would greatly appreciate each and every single one of you if you can get me to 30. Please make sure you get me to 30 before we end the stream. Twitter is blowing up. Twitter is going well. And Twitter is sharing me out. We got the usual people. Hansan the Man actually just shared me out. Thank you very much, Hansan the Man, for sharing me out. You guys are fantastic. We have AEW Dynamite. To review. And we are going to start the review in just a little bit. But before we start the review, I just want to remind everyone. I'm going to remind everyone once we... Wait a minute. Whoa! 2 more likes right out of the gate. That's 28 likes. You guys are on fire, baby. You guys are on fire. You guys are fantastic. And we got 2 more shows to review. And we are going to start the review in just a little bit. But again, please make sure that you go and check out the Eye of the Storm with Christina Sarni, a.k.a. C. Bunny. That link is in the description, as well as set your calendar dates for tomorrow at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time with the Eye of the Storm. Or not at the Eye of the Storm, the Rundown, excuse me. I'm sorry, I'm getting these shows mixed up now. It's probably the fucking heat, because I'm sweating my balls off talking about pro wrestling. Please make sure you check out the Rundown with the Bicky TMD, tech issues and all. That's going down tomorrow at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time. You guys have been great since the start. Danielle's been great since the start. Rob, Earl Cole, Wild Bear 69, thank you very much. Adam Carl, you are fantastic. We just need 2 more likes, people. 2 more likes, and we are in the bag for 30. Let's go over Dynamite, which was an okay show. Probably the best show of the week. It was okay. An okay go-home show, a solid go-home show. We had FTR and Proud and Powerful. FTR and Proud and Powerful kicking off the show. This was an excellent match, and this was the best match of the night. This was awesome right from the start. Proud and Powerful were in control early with Stereotope Con Heroes on FTR. The crowd was fucking hot. We had a springboard cannonball to FTR by Santana on the floor. FTR then took over and isolated Ortiz. Ortiz fought back and tagged in Santana, and he lit up FTR. Santana then hit a 3 Amigos to Harwood, and then a beautiful frog splash for a 2. We had a wheelbarrow cutter by Proud and Powerful, and then Cash Wheeler was able to save it. Wheeler then with an uppercut. Dax Harwood with a brain buster to Ortiz, but Ortiz kicked out. Ortiz was able to kick out. FTR then with a superplex, but they missed the splash. They hit the big rig, but Santana dove onto Dax, and they fell into Cash, breaking up the pin. And then we had a roll-through cutter, and then all of a sudden we had a lung blower, a super kick, and a flipping double cutter, and Proud and Powerful get the win. Proud and Powerful get the win over FTR. A big win. A big win over FTR. A fantastic match to kick off Dynamite. And Proud and Powerful, they are in top contention for taking those tag team titles off of the Young Bucks. And that, I do believe, is going to be at none other than Arthur Ashe Stadium. CM Punk, he came out to address the Chicago crowd. He took the mic and he goes, "Are you guys sick of me yet?" Obviously, they were not sick of him. He says, "I could spend months feeling that love on Sunday, but this could all end for me. I haven't wrestled in 7 years and I'm nervous. Dare I say scared. But I want to make a promise that every single time I come down this aisle, all of a sudden Daniel Garcia and 2.0 attacked CM Punk out of nowhere. And then Darby Allin and Sting made their way out and they attacked Matt Lee and Daniel Garcia. We had a coffin drop, a scorpion death drop, and a go to sleep, all to the three heels. And then all of a sudden, we had Darby Allin and CM Punk going forehead to forehead. Forehead to forehead. Sting then took the mic and he goes, I always wanted to share the ring with you. Now our paths never did cross, but that was then. And it felt good to see it go to sleep right before my very eyes. And we all got the same goal in mind. This Sunday, I'm going to fist bump my partner and I'm going to walk back to the dressing room and you two are going to collide. And it's going to be showtime for sure. You know what's great about this? What's great about this and what a lot of people aren't even talking about that much is the fact that Sting, he's always by Darby Allin's side. But now they're having Sting take a back seat, and it's just going to be Darby and Punk out there. No Sting by Darby Allin's side. That right there, that goes to show you the investment and the trust that they have in Darby Allin to make CM Punk look great. And I love that. I absolutely love that. That's a great thing to see. Tony Schiavone interviewed Maxwell Jacob Friedman, and MJF goes, Cowboy Chris, the sexy beast, the GOAT, the Painmaker. He ran down all of Chris Jericho's nicknames. He goes, 4 decades of evolving. Your career is unparalleled, but don't get it twisted. When my career's over, my career is going to be a career that takes your place on the Mount Rushmore of pro wrestling. That's pretty much what he implied. Muhammad Ali kept coming back, and he turned himself into a shell of what he was. You're an addict. You're just like Ali. You need the spotlight. But when a man like me, you lose that spotlight, and you will do anything to get it back. And at All Out, I will end one of the greatest runs in pro wrestling, and that same yearning for the spotlight will be the same reason your music dies. Awesome. Awesome fucking stuff. Has there ever been a bad MJF promo? I don't think so. I truthfully think that this is going to be the end of the line for Chris Jericho. We got, whoa, Dylan Summers. We just hit 30 likes. Dee Dee and one of her fans, Dylan Summers. We just hit 30 likes. Big boy Johnny. He just contributed to those 30 likes. You guys are fucking awesome. 30 likes has been achieved. The goal, baby, the goal has been reached. That's what I love to see, people. 30 likes on the motherfucking table. Keep it coming, people. Keep it coming. We're going through Dynamite. You guys are awesome. Dee Dee's awesome. Dylan Summers, Johnny, and Adam Carl, Rob Wells Jr., Hologram, Earl Cole, everybody. You guys are fucking awesome. We just got another like. 31 likes. You guys are on fire, baby. I love it. Orange Cassidy versus Jack Evans. Matt Hardy was ejected from the arena, and we just got Evans versus Orange Cassidy. We had a satellite DDT for a 2. They were both on the top turnbuckle before. Cassidy and Evans traded some strikes. Evans with a spider suplex and a moonsault corkscrew kick. Evans tried to slow the pace down before Cassidy got a roll-up and picture-in-picture break. Really nothing too crazy. About this match. Cassidy got the win. Afterwards, Evans protested his loss before the Hardy family office came out to attack the HFO. And then, of course, we had Wheeler Yuta and Chuck Taylor come out to save them. And then, of course, the Jurassic Express saved the Hardy family or saved the best friends from the Hardy family office. And it looks like we are going to indeed get that 10-man tag. Unfortunately, the Hardy family office, it just isn't working. The Hardy family office just is not working. Hardy needs to be on his own. Hardy needs to be single. And the other tag teams, they need to be single as well. I don't expect the Hardy family office to win this Sunday. I really don't. Jim Ross was in the ring with Chris Jericho. Jim Ross was in the ring with Chris Jericho, and Chris Jericho came out to Judas, singing Judas, as always, is Chicago. He goes, I started my journey in pro wrestling right here in Chicago, and the man who recruited me was Jim Ross. So that was a nice little touch right there. Ross goes, why did you select this stipulation? Jericho called MJF a piece of shit. He goes, but you're a button pusher, and you're calculated, but so am I. But the only thing that you have over me is 3 victories. Those victories are burned into my brain. I've never been complacent. That's why I signed with AEW in the first place. There was no guarantee that we were going to succeed, but here we are on the 100th episode of Dynamite. And that's why I had to take the chance. I don't want this to be the end. I want more. I don't want to stop. But if something goes wrong and my journey ends in Chicago, then so be it. And I will thank each and every single one of you for letting me into your life. But Max, you will not take this away from me. You are going to have to be the best you've ever been. If you have the balls to get rid of me, I will see you on Sunday at All Out, you little prick. Is this the last stand? I don't know. I don't know if this is the last stand or not, but I'm telling you, by the way that Jericho's been acting, I have a feeling that this could very well be Jericho's last stand. I have a feeling that with the Fozzy tour coming up, and the fact that Jericho, he's going to be doing his own thing, I have a feeling that this is it. And that's going to be a huge notch on MJF's career, being able to say that he ended Chris Jericho's career. I can't wait to see what they do. Habiki TMD, thank you for joining. Of course, the rundown for AEW All Out with Mr. Habiki TMD, who is in the chat, that is going up tomorrow at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Please go and set your calendar dates. We have Powerhouse Hobbs. Powerhouse Hobbs and Brian Cage. And this was a decent match. This was probably one of Brian Cage's better matches as of lately. And Brian Cage and Powerhouse Hobbs, they did pretty well. They did pretty well. Cage, he attacked Hobbs right out of the gate. The fight started early. Match began, and Hobbs, he took over, and he kept the pressure on Cage. Coming back from commercial, Cage with a flatliner. Cage then with a thrust kick and an exploder suplex. We had a big enziguri and a German suplex for a 2. Hobbs then with a very nice spine buster. He has a very nice double-A spine buster, does Will Hobbs. All of a sudden, we had Hook. Hook getting up on the apron after Cage delivered an F5. Cage went for a drill claw after a deadlift superplex. Hook with the distraction. Starks hit Brian Cage with the FTW World Championship, and then Hobbs with Town Business. And Hobbs with a big win. This was the correct outcome here. Very big win for Powerhouse Hobbs. Very happy to see Powerhouse Hobbs get that win. And I can definitely see Cage potentially in a program with Miro. Habiki, you and me, we had the same idea. We could potentially see Cage versus Miro. But Powerhouse Hobbs, I like what they're doing with Powerhouse Hobbs. Very, very happy that Hobbs got the rub here. And Powerhouse Hobbs, he is absolutely going to be a major player in due time. I like the look that Powerhouse Hobbs has. He was giving off Harlem Heat vibes. I like that attire. QT Marshall, he was in the ring with the Factory, and he demanded that Paul White come out. Paul White did indeed come out. Paul White then took out the members of the Factory before the Gun Club came out to even the odds. All of a sudden, Billy Gunn struck Paul White in his surgically repaired hip with a chair. And then he struck Paul White in the head. And then Paul White was on the receiving end of a diamond cutter by QT Marshall. Crowd was chanting asshole at Billy Gunn. And then they were chanting QT sucks. The Factory then picked him up. And then obviously they hit Paul White with the diamond cutter. And QT stood tall. Listen, the heel turn was fine. And I have a feeling that they're turning heel because Proud and Powerful are inevitably going to take the titles off of the Young Bucks. And then we're going to see the Gun Club get a shot at Proud and Powerful because they are undefeated. That's what I can see happening. I don't know about you, but that's what I see. That's what I see in the near future for the Gun Club. But the storyline here, it's not illogical. It's certainly a lot more logical than what we see on Raw, but this match and this feud is going to do nothing in the long term. This match and this feud is going to do nothing in the long term for Paul White or QT Marshall. It's not. It's just going to flat out be on the card, and then after it's done, it's over. It's not going to enhance anyone. Paul White's going to win within 2 minutes. Really not something that I would invest my time in. It's not necessarily a bad storyline, but at the end of it, it's not going to do anything in the long term. That's what I'm thinking of. I'm thinking in terms of long-term storytelling, long-term booking. Tony Schiavone interviewed Britt Baker. Britt Baker said Jamie Hayter and Rebel will be in the Women's Casino Battle Royal, and she announced that she signed a new deal with AEW, but, she did tease a certain signing. She said, I have news on the latest free agent signing. So, obviously, that was a little tease out there, especially with her TikTok story showing Adam Cole Bay at her dentist office. You know that he's coming. He's absolutely coming. Do we see him at All Out? I don't think so. I think that the best route to go would be to probably save him until Arthur Ashe Stadium or Full Gear at the latest. We're seeing him at one of those two. That's what I can see happening. Penelope Ford and Ty Conti. This was actually a pretty solid performance right here. Penelope Ford and Ty Conti actually did very well. Penelope Ford, sometimes she's on, sometimes she's off. She was on. She was on today. She was doing very, very good here against Ty Conti. Ty Conti, she has grown leaps and bounds. I am loving what Ty Conti has morphed herself into. Ty Conti's doing great. Ty Conti, she took the fight to Ford early with a big punt kick. Ford, then she kicked out. Ford knocked Conti off the top rope. Ford then dropped Ty Conti on out of the ring. Ty with a crucifix bossman slam for a 2. Ford took over with a Muda lock. Conti reversed it into a calf crusher. Ford then got to the ropes. We had a punt kick barrage by Ty Conti before we had Ford hitting a gut check. That got a 2 count. The bunny tried to distract Ty Conti. Ford then got pushed into the bunny, and then Ty with a spider leverage pin, and Ty got the win. Very, very, very nice stuff here. I'm liking what Penelope Ford and Ty Conti can do, especially Ty Conti. Ty Conti is someone to watch out for. Afterwards, the bunny and Ford attacked Ty Conti. All of a sudden, Anna Jay returned. Anna Jay returned. Yes, number 99, Anna Jay is back, and she sent the bunny and Ford running off. And Anna Jay is going to be in the Women's Casino Battle Royal, and Anna Jay is actually my pick. Anna Jay is my pick. And I can absolutely see Anna Jay as the woman to face Britt Baker at Arthur Ashe Stadium, because, guys, if you remember, during the Women's World Title Eliminator Tournament in February, it was supposed to be Anna Jay versus Britt Baker in the first round of the tournament, but Anna Jay got injured. Now Anna Jay is back. I can absolutely see her winning, and I can absolutely see her in a position where she beats everyone in the Casino Battle Royale, and then she faces Britt Baker in a interim program before Britt Baker eventually gets to Thunder Rosa. I can absolutely see that happening. We got a stacked show tonight. For Rampage. CM Punk is live. We got Darby Allin and Daniel Garcia. We got Malachi Black and Lee Johnson. We got Chris Statlander versus Rebel and Jamie Hayter. I'm actually very much looking forward to seeing what Malachi Black and Lee Johnson can do. That match is going to be damn fucking good. I'm very much looking forward to seeing that match. And then in the main event, we had Jurassic Express and the Lucha Bros versus the Good Brothers and the Young Bucks. This was a very, very fun main event. Lucha Bros took over on the Bucks early before Jungle Boy tagged in. The Bucks then isolated him. before Jungle Boy fought back. We had a tag to Phoenix. He was using his speed against the Bucks. We had a crazy fucking corkscrew arm drag. And then we had a Death Valley driver by Rey Fenix. And then a drop kick right into the ass by Pentagon Jr. Luchasaurus came in with Luke Gallows. Luchasaurus then sent Nick over the top onto the Elite. Jungle Boy then with a Tornillo. We had a chokeslam moonsault combo on Anderson for a 2. Gallows and Anderson then with a magic killer. Luchasaurus saved it. And then we had a BTE trigger. Avoided. A double cutter by Phoenix. Meltzer driver by the Bucks. And the Elite ended up getting the win with a very fun main event. Omega then came out to celebrate, but this ending was a bit of a cluster. Omega was on the mic, and he attacked Jurassic Express and the Lucha Bros. And the Elite then put Luchasaurus through a table with a magic killer. Christian Cage came out trying to even the odds, but the Elite, they overwhelmed Christian Cage. And then all of a sudden, Omega goes, "Hey TK, you got to be very careful not to replace your personal items." Callis let her rip. All of a sudden, he brings the cage down onto the ring, and the Lucha Bros and Christian Cage are locked in the cage with the Elite. They beat him with kendo sticks, and then all of a sudden, they gave a BTE trigger to Christian Cage, and the heels stood tall. A bit of an unorganized cluster, but I actually liked what they were doing here. I think Omega, with that black hair, I think he looks pretty damn badass. And I'm very much looking forward to seeing what Omega and Christian Cage do at AEW All Out. Good stuff right here. It was a decent go-home show. And All Out has pretty much sold itself. And it's going to be a great fucking show. It really is going to be a great fucking show. And I can't wait for it. It's going to be damn good. We have one more show to go over. Thank you, Habicki. Thank you, Big Boy Johnny, Wild Bear, DD. Blazed Radio, Dylan Summers, thank you very much for stopping by. We are over 30 likes, and this has been a highly successful LFU. You guys are absolutely fantastic, and my God, do I love all of you. I'm telling you people, you guys all know. You guys all know how to make a guy feel very, very special. And I do feel very, very special. I feel very, very special because as a common kid from Jersey, man, being able to garner this type of reaction, it's very, 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 very heartwarming, you know? It's very, very heartwarming. And I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving it. So, we are going to go over one more show, and then we're going to get on out of here. I am not dabbing. That is your thing. I am not going to dab. Let us dissect NXT UK, and then we are going to get on out of here. NXT UK, really a nothing show. Was NXT UK. Outside of the main event, really nothing to invest your time in. I'm not sure what they're doing with NXT UK right now. The last couple shows were pretty big, but this show very, very lackluster. We started off with Blair Davenport versus Nina Samuels, which actually never happened. That match never took place because Blair Davenport actually attacked Nina Samuels before the match. She absolutely destroyed her. Afterwards, we had referees coming out. Sid Scala also came out. He was the assistant to the general manager. Davenport gave him a V-trigger and a Falcon Arrow before walking away. I don't know where this leads to, but I'm liking Blair Davenport. I'm liking her. Dan Maloney and Andy Wild versus Jack Stars and Dave Mastiff. Pretty standard stuff right here. Pretty standard tag team match. Mastiff ended up winning with the Into the Void. I'm not sure if we have our next set of tag team champions right here, but I wouldn't be surprised. I genuinely believe that we could very well see the next tag team champions, the next team to beat Pretty Deadly, in Jack Stars and Dave Mastiff. I like the makeup. It almost gives me the Killian Dane Drake Maverick vibes. I like that. I really do. Joe and Mark Coffey, they got in the faces of Pretty Deadly. They actually shoved Lewis Howley into the fountain. My guess is that they are going to be interim title opponents before Pretty Deadly inevitably get to Jack Stars and Dave Mastiff. We had Amel versus Amelia McKenzie. This was very, very standard. Amelia McKenzie rolled up Amel for the win, and I can absolutely see Amelia McKenzie as the next challenger for Mako. Next week, we got Symbiosis versus Saxon Huxley, Oliver Carter, and Ashton Smith. And we also got Sam Gradwell versus Wolfgang in a Heritage Cup #1 Contenders Tournament first round matchup. The main event was Nathan Frazer versus Teoman, and I actually liked this. I actually liked this match. I thought it was a very nice story told. I'm not really too big of a fan of the British rounds matches, but I will say that they told a very nice story. And Nathan Frazer, I'm liking Nathan Frazer. Teoman as well. I wasn't too big on Teoman, but he's growing on me. Teoman is growing on me. So this was very, very technical in the first round. Frazer started lighting up Teoman with some strikes. No falls were scored in the first round. Teoman then took over, sent Frazer into the steps, and then hit a sliding forearm for a 3 count. Teoman scored the first fall. Frazer was being dissected by Teoman before we inevitably got Teoman on the receiving end of a springboard Hurricane Rana by Frazer. He nearly got the fall, just saved by the bell. We then got Teoman with a drop kick, but Frazer kicking out in the 4th round. Frazer then got a surprise roll-up, and he tied up the falls. Frazer then came out of the gates with a sling blade and a suplex neck breaker in the 5th round, and then that was pretty much the beginning of the end for Nathan Frazer, because that was the last bit of offense he got. After the suplex neck breaker, he hit a suicide dive. He went for a springboard elbow. He got it, but Teoman just kicked out. The 5th round was actually the best round. Teoman then caught Nathan Frazer going for the frog splash. He got out of the way. The frog splash did not connect. Teoman, this was a great fucking finisher right here. Teoman with a flipping spike headlock driver. It looked absolutely brutal. Nathan Frazer sold the hell out of it, and Teoman ended up advancing. And I love the unpredictability. The one thing I will give this tournament credit is it's very, very unpredictable. But I honestly believe that Kenny Williams is inevitably going to get that win. I inevitably believe that Kenny Williams is going to get that win. This was a very nice story told, and if anything, it was the only thing in the show that I would go back and watch. It was very good. Teoman and Nathan Frazer did very, very well, and I was very, very pleased with the outcome that we got here. Ladies and gentlemen, we finished strong with 34 likes. Man, you guys absolutely fucking killed it. You guys killed it, man. You guys absolutely killed it. I owe you guys the absolute world. That has been the Lightning Flash update, and we had no technical difficulties. There we go. No technical difficulties at all. How about that? I greatly appreciate each and every single one of you. Do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Do not forget to check out all the links in the description. Obviously, send your thoughts, your prayers, your condolences to the family, the friends, and everyone who was directly affected by the death of Daphne Unger. Thank you very much. Check out the rundown for AEW All Out 2021 tomorrow at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time. I got the rewind for All Out coming to you on Tuesday. That's right. Rewind for All Out coming to you on Tuesday. Do not miss a single solitary second of the action here on the DJ Storms channel. I'm DJ Storms. And of course, on Sunday, ISPW in Butler, New Jersey. I will be there live in attendance. Get your tickets right now. And on September 15th, I'm going to be live in attendance for AEW Dynamite in Newark, New Jersey. I'm DJ Storms. This has been the Lightning Flash Update. You all have an awesome, awesome weekend. I'm out of here.